Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast, also known as the PSVG cast. New show, new cast, same nonsense introduction, because that's how I do. I'm Elaine. I'm joined by three. We're going to use the word gentleman loosely at the top of the show. Gentlemen. We'll say gentlemen now, and it'll devolve into something terrible later. I got Dev here. Dev, what's good, man? How you been?
I've been chilling. Been real good. Having a nice little Saturday evening. It's hot as hell out here. But other than that, no complaints.
Is your state on fire? What's happening on the West Coast right now?
It is definitely on fire in multiple places, but it's also 106 degrees a day. So,
wow, it's colder.
Just the pits of hell.
Yeah, it's colder in New Jersey. It was like 77 today, low 80s. Like, nice. I mean, it's still New Jersey.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. You get that in the winter. Shut up. Shut up.
This is true. This is true. That is winter for me.
I hate you so much. Once again, joining me on yet another podcast show on the internet is Donnie. Donnie, what's good?
Hi, Elaine.
Oh, hey. It's only been a couple days since I last saw you.
That's correct.
You tired of me?
I'm sick.
Ew. Keep it in Georgia, please. Like, keep it just...
I blame Florida.
I mean, we could do that for everything.
That's valid.
That's
very accurate.
Yeah, and also joining us is Florida man. Delvin is here. What's up, dude?
Big meaty men slapping meat.
It's why we can't have nice things. Florida is why we can't have nice things. Y'all see?
He's the wild card. He is the wild card.
It could be any one of y'all on any given day. When people are like, "Oh, how's this new show gonna go?" I'm like, like when you have a lot of cats and you got to get them to go in one direction, and that's not possible. That's the show. That's gonna be the show.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I'm fine. Deb is already drinking. This is gonna go well.
You got to. You got to.
I don't think that's the rule at all. Wait a second. Wait. So we have a brand new podcast, and what we've done with it is decided that it's not just going to be Xbox anymore, and it's not just going to be PlayStation anymore. We're just going to talk about whatever the hell we want. We might
Nintendo.
talk about get out. I'm joking. We can do whatever we want. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do whatever we want. So this first episode, normally we'll do this the same way we probably do every podcast. What are we playing? What's the news? And listener questions. But I went and tweeted that I wanted all the questions, and damn, I got all the questions for the first episode. So that works out.
Just a little bit.
People like me, man. I'm lovable. I don't know.
Clearly.
They don't know you that well.
Yeah, I was just going to say I usually hiss at people. These people don't know. All right. Is anybody playing? Donnie, are you playing video games? Let's start with you.
Play No More Heroes.
How's that going?
It's not very good.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's fine. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it's not very good.
Okay, you're gonna need to break it down for me. Is it not in line with the writing that you want it to be, or is it a broke ass hot performance mess?
Oh, it's pretty busted in that regard. I don't want to go. I mean, my final shack is going to be my big review, so I don't want to go too far into it. So I'll try to keep it pretty high level and pretty quick. On a lot of fronts, I don't think it's meeting the mark. Gameplay's fine. I like the new Death Glove abilities. I think that's fun. Motion controls are fun still. It's just from a performance, from a resolution, from a visual, from a style, even maybe some of the writing I'm not totally digging so far. It doesn't seem to be nearly as edgy or as like offensive or raunchy as it used to be either. Travis has kind of grown up a little, it seems, which is fine. That doesn't really matter to my opinion at all. I'm really here for the story. They set a really, really great hook about an hour in.
Okay.
And then I feel like it's just been waning since then. I'm up to number 4, so I got to be at least halfway through, I think, at least.
Are you going to finish it?
Oh, yeah. I was always going to finish it. I mean, this game could be Deadly Premonition 2, and I was going to finish it. I mean, I've been playing this game and this series for 13 years. Like, I got it. And if you guys didn't see, Suda basically looked like he's retired, Travis. Like, you said goodbye. Like, it was so weird because a week ago, he was saying that we wouldn't do another No More Heroes game for at least 10 years. And then the game comes out and he writes this like heartfelt farewell to Travis and to No More Heroes and its fans and everything. So it might be the end. And I for that reason, I have to see what the end is.
That's fair. That's fair. I get that. I mean, besides that, steaming. Would you say disappointment? Is that the word you would use if you had to use one word?
It's this is something that I'll have to really think on before Shaq this week, because it's really close to what the first game was. So in a way, it's very true to itself. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like 15 years later, and you'd expect it to be better in a lot of ways, and it's not. And that's the part that I think is really... And even then, I think the other part of this is like the HD remasters of the first two look better than this one.
Oh, no.
Like, that's not good.
That doesn't
They
feel
run
good.
better than this one, for sure.
That doesn't
like, even if you disagreed with me on the first one as like a personal opinion, like, they perform much better. And I think an opinion based, I think the style from the first two was better than the one they're deploying for this one. So, and this one's just a little more realistic. They're going for a lot of realistic textures and stuff, and I don't think it lands. But my biggest complaint, to give you some, expert criticism. So in the first two games, you'd fight an assassin, then you'd have to raise money to enter to fight the next assassin. You raise money by completing these myriad of mini games, and then you would usually go to like a different location. You would go somewhere, and like you'd go to the school, and you'd fight your way through the school to the boss. This game, you basically have like these little islands, and you go to this island on your bike in the overworld, which is completely empty and not important, and would be a better game without it. It runs like trash. It's just bad. It's not very good in terms of open world design, which is always, and I think the hard part with this with Suda is that Suda games are always No More Heroes games. I should correct myself. Have always been like satirical of video games in general. So it's hard to determine and decipher what's meant to be bad versus what is actually bad.
I would say the performance being bad is not intentional.
They've
you know what I
usually
mean? Like, there's no way.
This is the worst performing games of these games. Like, even the first ones on Wii were pretty solid at 30. This dips below 20 often.
Ooh.
Lots of frame stuttering, lots of
that face.
And the resolution in handheld is atrocious. It's like 360, and we're talking like 3DS levels. It's real bad.
Oh boy.
But anyway, getting back to my point. In this game, you've got this island. You hop from island to island, but instead of, you can still do the mini games. They're just not as important as the ones before. The ones before were like levels. You had to do them. This one, like, you can kind of skip them, because instead of going to a location like the school and fighting your way through the school to the boss that is themed around the school or the stadium, you literally just go to a random location on the map and you stand on a glowing circle, and then you are put into a arena that looks like every other arena, and you fight 2 or 3 people or a wave of people, and then you come back to the overworld and you do that to earn the money, because it's not even money this time. There is money, but you have to earn like these coins. You have to have a certain amount of these coins that they tally. So basically you just go to these random points on the map and you do these random battles. It feels like padding and filler.
That's an
before
old
you get to the
choice.
boss. The boss is what makes No More Heroes great. Before you get to the boss, and in that regard, this game is really tough. I've died many times. I've considered dropping to easy. I haven't done it yet, but I don't know if I'll make it to the end without doing it. I mean, it's really, one of these enemies just has an instant kill.
Nobody likes that. No
like
one
you just get
that.
hit by an attack and you're dead.
I hate it. Thanks. I hate it.
So that's tough. But I think more disappointing is that these bosses don't seem to have as much character, and they didn't have the big, glamorous, over-the-top background stories and intros and cutscenes that we know and love. That's why we love Batgirl, and you know, like his whole motley crew of, you know, and Shinobu and all that. Like, that's why we love these characters, is because they're weird. And they have these dumb stuff where, like, there's cheerleaders in a football stadium and he turns into a mech, and then you have giant mech fight, you know, or like the gunslinger who's singing opera out in the damn baseball field. Like, I haven't come across a whole lot of that yet. And then the one time that I did earlier today, there was this rap battle that was
I'm listening.
cringy as fuck.
No. Damn it. If you can sit here and say
part of that.
Oh no.
And here's the thing.
God.
Like,
No.
I play No More Heroes. Like, I'm here to be offensive. I'm here to be lewd. I'm here for the scandalous and the raunchy. And I was like, this sucks. This is lowbrow. Come on.
That's disappointing. Bad. That's deeply disappointing. Like, if you are sitting there and able to say that about No More Heroes, then they have gone too far. Like, it's not in a not a good way. Like, not in a,
but in other ways, I'm still very much enjoying Travis's story. There are certain things that I like. I like the combat. I think it's a lot of fun. It's probably the best combat in the series so far. It just kind of feels half-baked, like half-finished, like kind of...
That's a bummer.
Unpolished. Could have been better. But I'm interested to see where Travis's story goes.
This is it, so better enjoy it, I guess. Cause
the Foo stuff is awesome. Like, he's basically just robbing, like, Marvel and Thanos, and, like, but, like, a splash of, like, Dragon Ball Z too.
Okay.
Like, this character comes, Foo is basically Thanos. He just kills and wrecks shop. And, like, you definitely get that Thanos moment where you're like, I've got to kick this guy's ass. Like, they definitely give that to you, so which is great. But then he has this squad of people, and they're all so, like, colorful and different and weird that it definitely comes off like this Dragon Ball Z, like, Ginyu Squad type vibes too. Like, they're just corny enough.
I'm
in. It's like it's
you're reeling us back in.
I know. Yeah. I'm about to say you're selling this again. I mean, I bought a copy of the video game. We all know
that's why I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still playing it. For all of its faults, like, I will. Am I going to finish it? Absolutely.
Well, yeah.
I might have to finish it on easy. If I keep getting instant killed and stuff. Like, I had one boss, he killed me like 13 times. I was like, I'm about to drop it. But I got through. I was also playing emotion controls. I put back No More Heroes. You're kind of meant to be played with motion.
Does it feel that way or not?
Yeah. No, the motion controls are great. Yeah.
I don't love motion controls in
I know. And I didn't play Travis Strikes Again with motion. I played it with the Pro Controller. But I dropped to the Pro Controller and I got through the fight, so I'll continue trying. They're really, I think, more so than any of the other games previously. Like, this one's tough. The bosses take a lot to kill, so you really got to level up your character. I've been putting a lot of focus on that.
Okay. All right. Are you playing anything else that's maybe slightly less disappointing, or has this gotten the bulk of your time?
I've been sick, so I played Peggle.
Hell yeah! So Peggle is your version of my Tetris. I don't feel good. I'm going
to be honest with you, I just wanted to lay in Melissa's lap while she played Peggle.
Okay.
And she was like, you know what?
I feel so bad.
Let me tell you a fun story then. So Jack is all into this Halo stuff, right? After being all into this Fortnite stuff. He's got this Halo Nerf gun. Him and his friends play Nerf guns. He's got a Halo mask. And he's writing, like, Halo fan fiction.
This is
he
very
wrote this
cute.
story for school about Halo. It's cute. That's the word you're going to use?
I mean,
his fan fiction was extremely dark, where him and his entire squad got surrounded, and one of them sacrificed himself to blow up the ship while the one guy escaped in an escape pod, and everybody else died at the end. I was like, oh my God.
Sounds like this kid should be writing Halo.
I was just going to say.
It sounds like a Halo story.
Way better than the shit they're putting out.
It's still cute. He wrote a better storyline than most of.
It's gonna be better than the campaign that's coming out soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, I've seen movies with worse.
Is that the story of Halo Reach?
Yeah, ODST. And
so we were like, I was like, Jack, why is this so dark? The fun part of this, the jokey part of this, is Melissa has a really, really dark sense of humor.
Oh, good.
So I was like, what? God, he gets this from you. I was like, you need to stop playing so much shooting games, okay? Like, it's getting a little out of hand. Like, let's play something else. And Melissa was like, yeah, play something nice. Play Peggle. So we basically forced him to play Peggle.
This poor child. I'm going to make my daughter loves Peggle. She'd play Peggle and never leave. My OLED would be used for Peggle. She'd be like, best TV ever. I'm like, child, please. You're killing me. You're actually killing me. Oh, I don't understand. All right, so it looks like Dev and I are playing basically the same game. So, Delvin, why don't you talk to me about what you're playing first before we take over this podcast for like half an hour?
Of course. I'm playing War for Wakanda.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I beat it. Yeah, I beat it the other day. I want to say Thursday I beat it. I love it. It's great. I kind of want them to, like, spin this off into an actual full game because it's so good. And it's like, maybe you should just make more of these.
And less of whatever other trash you've made recently. I mean, I'm just saying. Saying.
Like they got Wakanda right. They got everything about that atmosphere right. Even the voices of the characters, it just feels right. The last boss kind of feels a little hokey. It's not because of the bosses, the way they did it, but either way, I had a blast playing it. It was so much fun. Black Panther plays well, and it's a great game. Well, that part of it is great. I think, well, I've said this to Dan before multiple times that the Avengers game, if you take all that extra crap they added into it to make you want to play, it's a pretty fun, solid game. I so much wish this was just a regular single-player game that you can, like, hey, drop in co-op here and there to play the missions with. But,
yeah. I'm glad that this is good because I don't want them, like, with everything that's happened with Black Panther and the actor, I just don't want anything to be bad now because I want his legacy to just kind of live on in a joyous way. I don't know. Like, it's like every time I see a Black Panther thing, I'm like, this better be good. I get pissed off.
100%.
I will say this about the game. I like that they went a different direction with T'Challa's voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I didn't want it. While it was a little jarring, I feel like it makes sense for this universe for him to sound different, to do different things, and not to be too much attached to the character that everybody know and love from the movies and stuff like that, especially if the game was bad. If the game was bad,
right?
that would have been a disaster. But fortunately, it's good. It's fun. I like everything they've done with it. So if you still have Avengers, and it's really cheap now, you can probably find the game for like $10 now, and all the DLC is free.
Oh, is it? I still have a copy probably in the plastic that I got on sale at some point.
It's all free.
Don't talk to me about
the
my
game
bad
is
choices.
fun. The game,
it seems fun.
If it was just a single player game, it would be good.
Yeah,
get rid of all that multiplayer, in-game repetitive crap. Just give me this as a single player game.
That's what I said when they announced it. Everybody got mad at me.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're wrong.
Including Devin.
I think.
Yeah, I did.
I think if you look at it, like, they either have to do that or they should have had to make the gear like show up on your damn character to give you a reason to, like, like they made some choices that were not my favorite, but I'm glad to hear that this is good because I will play this. I will play.
Yeah, I think you should play it. Like I said, if it's probably you probably find a game for $10 now, and if you have a PS5, you get the PS5 upgrade for free. So
isn't that crazy? This game has the license for all the Marvel things. He's like, you can get this game for $8. Like, you can't get Luigi's Mansion for less than $48.
It should have been a slam dunk video game, and like at a time when it was the perfect time, and they just swung and missed so hard. Like, I've never seen anything so spectacularly not on the mark. It's not that
I gotta wonder, like, I want the behind the scenes of the making of this video game because I'm really curious as wondering, like, did they want to make this? Fuck him. If they wanted to make it just like this story-based game, and then they were like, no, you got to tack on some multiplayer. We got to try to get this games as a service thing. Like, I'm wondering if that was the thing because when you play through just like the regular game, it doesn't even feel like there's any reason why this should ever be multiplayer.
Yeah,
like, it just felt tacked on.
I'm gonna bet good money that that's exactly what happened because that's where everybody's making money on video games right now. They're not making money on the $60 box. They're just not. So, and that's too bad because it's fine when they make it work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Destiny over time has iterated and made that work. It's unfortunate when it tanks so bad that it ruins people's opinion of a game that could have been good. That bums me out.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yup. What else, Delvin? What else you got?
I played and beat 12 minutes.
Now, I heard Donnie's opinions on this on one of our last episodes of Empire. I want to know how you feel about this thing.
It's a fascinating game if you like adventure games and stuff like that. I don't want to spoil the plot twist in the game.
Please don't.
Yeah, because I want people to try to play it, but it's interesting. It's weird. It's quirky. One thing I didn't like about it is how do I say this? There are certain elements to the game that can be broken. Okay. And it is weird how it happens because, like, okay, that shouldn't happen like that. There's this one part in the game where you're supposed to do something specific, and if you do the specific thing, you're supposed to, like, finish that level and move on. Well, it's not necessarily a level, like, finish the loop of court. So I did the thing, I finished the loop, but this character in the game, the cop, at this point in time, when you talk to him after you do this thing, you guys are supposed to be cool.
Okay.
But I talked to him after that, and the guy got mad and, like, hit me with his gun, and that restarted the loop. Like, what in the world? How did that random thing happen after like we just had a friendly conversation?
Yeah, I don't think it was random. It's not random.
It's like Donnie, you were talking about it being sort of poorly scripted. You know, like not all the way on.
I don't think it's poorly scripted. I think there are times where the dialogue doesn't make sense.
That's what I should have said.
That's exactly what it is.
The script is good, but I know exactly what Delvin's talking about. There's lots of different scenarios where the cop will do that. It's not random. It's definitely not random. There's nothing random about the game. The game's completely thought out. There's like 100 different decision paths you can go, and they all have different endings. And so it definitely wasn't random.
I need to play that. I still want to play it. It's installed on my Xbox. I got distracted this week. I don't want to. I'll discuss that in a minute.
I think if you like story-based games, I think it's an interesting story. I didn't find the ending too great, not because of the whole surprise thing. It was just kind of like, okay, it was bland. Like, okay, this is over. you can play again to find another ending, but this is over. Now, when I got the end, I got the supposed good ending, like the best ending you can get, and I'm like, this is it? There's nothing to like distinguish this from the other endings? This is just kind of like, all right, the game's done. Like, okay.
I feel like
damn.
It's really rare for a story-based game to really stick the landing. Like it surprises me when they do, not like this where they don't. I don't know if you guys have that same vibe, but like narrative games often don't always. The lead up will be good, but they don't
Telltale
stick it.
stuff, Life is Strange stuff.
Those
Edith
stick
Finch.
Edith Finch did, but there have been other games like
Vanishing
Gone Home.
Ethan
I
Carter.
never felt like really stuck
I liked
the landing.
Gone Home.
I liked it, but I liked the experience more than the end, and that's often the way I land on a lot of these games.
I mean, because I've seen it, I know what Delvin's saying. I mean, that's what I tried to say on Empire. It's, the shock of the ending is supposed to be Oh,
I see.
If you're not shocked or appalled or anything, like if you don't have a strong reaction to that revelation, which by the way, Delvin, you saw it coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like so did I. So like, I was like I was like, okay. Like if you're like that, now if you're like, oh, I can't believe they're going here, that you might come away with a different opinion, but I don't think you're gonna feel that way, Elaine, and I don't think Devin would feel that way. Like we've seen other things in media that broach into that area, so I don't think it was all that.
Yeah,
gotcha. And
not only did I not like find it interesting, it was more like, well, that's kind of dumb.
Damn.
It really, to be honest with you, that was kind of what I was taking away when I finished it. When I finally got to the full ending, I was like, I can't believe I sat here for 2 or 3 hours to do this.
Oh, wow. It ruined the experience for you.
It didn't ruin it, but it's just like it wasn't worth it. It's like I could have just YouTubed this.
Sure.
It was 2 hours I won't get back.
Exactly.
Great.
It's like I could have just YouTubed this and been playing Psychonauts instead.
That's supposed to be the one to play on Game Pass right now. I would be remiss if I didn't use those words in the first hour of this podcast. Deal with it.
Game Pass podcast.
The new Game Pass podcast. Delvin, you're playing Psychonauts as well.
Yes,
right?
I am. I only played the beginning part of it, and I like it. It feels like classic Psychonauts, so that's great.
I'm excited.
I love it. It's fun. It's silly. It's ridiculous. If you like Psychonauts so far, I'm like, all right, this is what I want. And the fact that it's on Game Pass is even better.
Nothing to lose. 12 minutes is also on Game Pass for people.
What's it on, Delvin?
Game Pass.
Can you tell me what is this Game Pass?
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Magic gnome.
Damn it. We have a question for this later.
Yeah, we have a question for this later. We need a pop-up gnome that just comes on the broadcast and we need an ad that the gnome inserts right here in the podcast.
Just says,
he just screeches Game Pass.
Can we get endorsed by Game Pass and just have a Game Pass ad play in the middle
that
of
would
this?
Be great.
That would be amazing. That's end game. That's the deal.
Hey, Xbox, slide into my DMs, please. Please.
For real, legit.
For real though, no, I'm not joking. Like Kenny does.
I may have to change my profile name for that to happen. But yeah, we can probably make that work.
Big meaty men slapping Game Pass. Solved it.
Yeah,
there you go. There it is. Problem solved.
Branding.
Big meaty Game Pass slapping games.
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
Slap at the games.
Oh boy,
that's even better.
Before this gets more out of hand, Dev, you and I are both basically playing the same games different ways. So I want to start with Axiom Verge. Did you replay the first one? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm replaying the first.
After I finished the second one, I went ahead and jumped back to the first one. Yes. So yeah, it's so good.
It's still so good. It actually remains, for folks who don't know, Axiom Verge 2 launched either a week or two ago. It's a Metroidvania. It is a very Metroidvania-ass Metroidvania. Oh, yeah. Like, it evokes Super Metroid in a really big way. It has one of my favorite game soundtracks. It's up there, top 10. Dude.
The soundtrack is fantastic.
I bump that thing on Spotify all the time when I walk through Philly. Like, it's just got a vibe, man. It's
Absolutely.
got a vibe. So I'm also replaying the first game, and I forgot how good it was. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So
and it's so drastically different, which is also the thing that, like, when you play 2, when you go back to 1, like, the actual combat is completely different.
Oh, that's good.
And I did not realize that. I was like, oh, this is different. And I think Axiom Verge 2, because it's melee-based, like, you have melee attacks. And that hits for me right now because I've been really digging melee stuff. So going back to Axiom Verge 1, and it's all guns, it's like, this is a completely different experience. And I didn't even realize that until I went back to 1 and played it.
When you really look at it, like, it's the literal difference between playing Super Metroid and then jumping into a Castlevania, where you're just like at melee distance. 100%. So it's almost like they've grabbed both sides of the mashup spectrum here, and I think that's pretty 100%. Rad. I'm really impressed. I love that they just dropped this thing, like, out now. I was so excited.
It made my day. It made my month.
You and I were all capsing so all over the place. We were so happy. But yeah, I want people, if you haven't played the first Axiom Verge, it can be had on the cheap, and it really is an amazing soundtrack and game. So you guys should check that out. Absolutely. I finally installed Ghost of Tsushima when the director's cut came out. And I can't stop playing the video game with the samurais. I bought the vinyl record soundtrack. I turn all the lights down, put the red behind my TV. I'm living the dream, man. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Like,
see, you know what? I'm gonna blame Donnie. I'm just gonna blame Donnie. It's all Donnie.
What do you blame me for? I played the damn game.
You tried to play the damn game. You didn't finish the game.
You dabbled.
Devin's told everybody about damn Ghost of Tsushima.
I know. I'm teasing him. This is
out here, like, you know, strangers, hobos in the street, like, hey man, you got some change? He's like, I do. Do you have some time to learn about Ghost of Tsushima?
Look, he's got
tell you about this guy named Jin.
He's got the Tsushima pamphlet, and on the back is Donnie taping the Game Pass pamphlet over the back half. So look, you both do it.
I like the game. I like Ghost of Tsushima. Don't get me wrong. I've said it many times. It's a really good game. I just don't like it as much as Devin does.
Dev, are you playing it from the beginning, or are you just playing the new stuff?
I played the beginning intro just because of how awesome it is, and I just wanted to experience that again. But then after that, I just jumped right into, like, the end of my final game save to go play the new stuff. So I'm playing the new stuff now, and it's like riding a bike, and I'm so happy to be back in there slicing fools the fuck up.
It's like riding a bike, except the bike has a samurai sword, and it slices people in half. It's the same. It's totally the same.
Yeah,
I am
so good.
I'm really satisfied with how good the combat feels. Like, it's unforgiving. Like, you F around, you're gonna get dead. Like,
how far are you?
Yep.
I'm only a couple hours into the game. But
how many stances have you unlocked?
I've just got the first one that I got.
Okay.
Like, I've just been going everywhere. I want to
put a pin in this.
I'm doing the Witcher thing, though. Well, the Witcher had the same kind of stuff with the same levels of complexity. They just fit different. But I'm doing the same thing I did in The Witcher. I was like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, who's that guy? Oh no, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, you know,
absolutely, I love that.
That man murdered me. His armor looked shiny. I'm gonna run away. You know, there's something to be said about a game where the melee combat feels right at the border of realistic. Like, those standoffs
that's a great way of putting it,
so
Elaine.
Freaking good.
And I was just deliberate. Yeah, but it's very intentional. It's a good way of putting it.
Like, it's so. Oh man, those standoff moments when you nail it and you just slice through a dude and it hits that cinematic pause and you're like, I'm a badass. I'm a samurai. And then I fall walking up the stairs to go get another soda. You know, it's fine. Yeah. I'm living vicariously through it.
Get a random spasm. You're like, I'm a samurai.
Yeah. My back's sleeping. Which has actually happened to me.
My wife legit the other day, we were in the hot tub and her toe spasmed in.
Yes. Doing nothing.
Floating. I was like, you're not even using it. How is this possible?
Because we're old, Donnie. Okay, like, I woke up one morning.
Getting old sucks.
Like, it sucks. The worst part about hitting your 30s is the moment when you wake up and injure yourself by waking up. You're like, well, I'm still in bed. This is not. So when the samurai
Why does my
game
back hurt like that?
Why? So when the samurai game comes out, that makes me feel like a badass when I press buttons. 2 thumbs up. It's amazing. I'm so excited to be playing it right now. It's just what I wanted and didn't realize I wanted it. So I'm gonna just do this for hours and hours.
So good. And there's hours and hours to be had of that game, which also
that's for damn sure.
So good.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
So
and
many
it's all
damn
fun.
hours.
So good. I don't think it's as long as Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So there's that.
Not even
That's
close.
true.
That is true.
That's very true.
And that game was full of bloat too, so let's not even play. Like, it's different for different people what they want. Like, if you want Viking stuff and you want to just feel like a murderer, then that's great. If you want to feel like an intentional murderer, then this game is maybe for free.
As Saints Row said, murder machine.
Yeah, that's how Valhalla feels. This game feels like reluctant murder.
I love that the devs for Saints Row were so open. Like, the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unstoppable murder machine. It's like, hell yes.
That's what you want.
Day
out of a
one
video.
purchase.
Yes.
Thanks, Volition. I'm here for
Oh,
it.
they know. They know what they're doing. That game trailer made me want to reinstall 3 because of how much I
Ooh,
love
the
that
patch
game.
on Next Gen's really nice.
I heard. So I'm gonna make so because I need another open world game right now.
Yeah, just wait
That's
for
what I need.
GTA.
We'll not have any of that.
I forgot about that.
Oh, it's coming.
Shit.
How far into the new stuff are you on this game? How much new stuff is actually here? Like, how much content?
Apparently, it's supposed to be as big as like the first island of the game, which is massive.
I don't think it's
like
that
the size isn't, but they're saying like the story content, everything you can
Do all the
is
side
about
missions and
Okay.
collect
Yeah.
everything? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. There's a lot of collectibles. There's trophies for all the collectibles. I was
Yeah,
surprised about how many collectibles there were, and that's all I'm doing. I'm just in the world, running around, finding shit, and murdering Mongols. I don't care about. I'll get to the story when I get there. But the way I played Ghost, I just wandered around, and whatever I stumbled into is what I did. I wasn't necessarily trying to mainline it or make sure I caught all the side stuff. I was just like, we're just gonna go.
That's
Whatever I run into, that's what happens.
that any game that gives me a horse and the ability to just follow stuff, like The Wind, for example, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get lost, and hopefully, the best ones of these games are the ones that when I get lost, I find something cool, like a side story that tells me something. I love that.
Have you seen one of the really like big bright yellow fields?
No.
Oh, I'd be very interested when you find like the big yellow forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
excited.
That's like some real
Yeah.
next gen visual stuff, man.
I was
Definitely.
the first time you see that on your TV screen, you're like, oh, shit,
the
this
scene, the opening section when he's a young man in sort of the training area where you have all the red leaves just floating behind you. It's just,
it's like that, but better.
I just sat there for like 10 minutes and I was like, video games are amazing.
There's two things. It's like when
This is the game that made me abuse the photo mode. I took so many damn
you?
pictures in this game. It's not even funny.
It's right off the D-pad too. I love when they do that. Just like tap that right on the D-pad. Oh,
there's
baby.
like a golden forest. It's like a real amber look, and it's really nice, especially if you have backdrop lights. And then there's like this giant field of like these yellow flowers.
Oh, nice.
And it's like yellow and green. It's just it's real low. So you see like the wind, and they all move in the wind and everything. I mean, this game brings it and then some in the visuals department.
I wish you played it to the end, Donnie, because the third island, oh my God. There's some beauty there, buddy. Yeah.
Man, I'm excited.
I will say this about this game. It has some incredible side missions. It's worth playing it because they tell their little own side stories to them, and a lot of them are
the best
very
part
dark.
of the story. The best story to be found in the game or in the side missions.
This is the tales, essentially, right? Is that
Dev disagrees.
the main stories?
It's the best
My
part. I love the
favorite
main
story
story. I think the
parts
main
that
story
I
is great.
found was the side stories.
Interesting.
And you
You didn't
find
finish the main story, in fairness, so you didn't have a wrap on the bow. But
No,
no.
He just mad that Jen doesn't just bash faces in. That's what he needs. If
I
Jen
mean,
just bash
That's
faces
just
fair.
not very cool.
Oh, you got to get further in the game. There's some cool stuff Jen does.
There are so many things that happen. You're only in Act 1. Like,
No, it's not. I got
There's
to
some-
Act 2.
but you didn't actually get into Act 2.
And
you
then
got
I did like
to Act 2.
I did most of the DLC too. Like you said, you're not doing much of the story. I probably did more of the DLC.
I'm sure you did. I did like the intro story to the
to
DLC.
get
I
you
haven't
in.
done anything else.
Look,
yeah,
dude,
I just didn't
played,
get me
I
there.
played Ghost for like 25, 30 hours. If it's not doing it by then, it ain't
It's
going
hard.
to do it.
It's hard to, yeah. I mean, with open
You know?
world games, if you're going to spend that many hours in a world, like, it's kind of got to grab you for some reason up front.
Help
like,
me
there's gotta
free
be
my
some
uncle.
hook.
All of
Well-
your family's dead, but please come help me free my uncle. It's like, dude, get off of this. Who cares?
Family story.
Murder these motherfucking Mongols.
That's
right.
right.
That's the story.
That's what I want
That's
to do.
the story.
That's
That's
the part that's missing. It's like I want Jen to just be like full on, like, you know.
He's just not that guy, though. I think.
I know he's not. That's what I say. He's not
That's
cool.
that's the
No, he is,
juxtaposition.
though.
It's the I'm trying to maintain like my honor as a samurai.
Yeah, and
but
that part
I
again.
can't keep doing that because
This is
I
the
need
part
to
where
be
I'm just not
ghost.
into samurai
That's-
souls.
I
I'm more
will-
into the Khan. That dude's
Be the
freaking
ghost.
awesome.
Well,
That's what I'm
Be the
saying.
ghost.
yeah, that's the
Just-
thing. The compelling thing is him trying to fight against tradition, not because he even wants to, but because he has to. I really love that like internal struggle that he's going through, especially right up front in the game where he's like, "That doesn't have. I can't do that. That's not honorable." And you're like, "Bro, you're gonna get murdered." So maybe think this through.
I will say this: get further in the game.
No.
That aspect of it gets way better.
I'm done.
Donnie can't
and
be
it's
brought
interesting, Elaine, you said it because the DLC kind of goes in a different way.
I'm interested to see how that goes, especially going through the main story. I'm gonna wait, Dev. Can I pet the animals on the new island? Please tell me.
You can kill the monkeys.
Can. There are animals to pet.
And I can pet all of
You
them?
can kill all the animals. that
You can
can,
kill 'em.
but you can
I
pet
don't
them
want
as
to
well.
murder them. I want to
No,
pet
no,
them.
murder machine.
No, you're a monster.
Well,
That's why he
clear.
doesn't like this game because he can't just be a murder machine. He just
I
that's what
pet
monster.
the animals. I pet all the animals. What are
And then
talking
you
about?
kill
Come on.
them.
I didn't
Oh,
kill the
good
deer.
kitty.
I didn't pet the deer.
I want to pet the.
I didn't even know you could. Like the deer ran by me and I was like, swipe. Deer's
No!
gone. But
Yeah.
I did pet
mean,
the
I've
fox and
definitely
everything
run
else.
over the deer with my horse.
Yeah, like the deer don't count. Like they're not petable animals.
Yes, they are. Like, are you?
I mean,
telling me
I know they are, but are they?
deer are cute as hell.
I've
What is
pet
wrong
no
with
deer.
you?
I have
But they-
pet no deer.
I mean, it shouldn't have came up on me.
I've
like
pet
that.
monkeys. That was it.
You
Wait a
don't. You don't just walk up on a
Your
samurai.
defense
like that.
is the deer shouldn't have rolled up on me
Shouldn't
like
be-
that.
yeah.
That's your defense.
Yeah.
I kind of gotta agree with him. Like if you roll up, you're gonna get done up. That's what happens. You roll up like
You're-
that. I got a sword. It's
You
going
don't.
down.
You don't belong.
Dinner
here,
for weeks.
Oh my god, I can't. with
We
you
got
guys.
people to feed.
Deer burgers.
Got this.
I'm saying.
Actually, in the
I
game,
gotta-
you do have people to feed. There are
I gotta
legit
feed the
people.
people on this island. So
Yeah.
these deers gotta go.
That's a real thing.
Circle of life. Circle of life.
I need. Nope, I don't think that's what they meant when they. Nope, hold on.
Hakuna
Stand
Matata.
still, deer. Akuna Matata. Sorry, dear. Akuna Matata. Sorry, I have to murder you though. It means
No
no
worries.
worries. Don't worry about getting dead. It's all gonna be
Yeah.
fine. Oh God. All right, Dev. What else are you playing? Anything else besides these two? video games
Destiny.
that I'm playing?
Destiny
Oh, of
2.
course. Of course.
I mean, I'm back in it. You know, it's got a.
Should I-
had a
PSVG
whole-
started this
whole-
way in
it's
2015,
great.
and it restarted this exact same damn way in 2021.
Should I play Destiny 2 again? And if I
No.
want to, wait, stop. I didn't ask you. I'm
No!
Nobody's talking.
no.
Nobody's asking the two
What
of
I
you. Where's the
wanna
mute
know-
button?
What I want to know, yeah, well, he has the production tools, you fool. What do I get to play this game now? Because there's seasons and there's expansions, and it's all very confusing. So tell me what to buy, please. Help me.
I'm going to tell you that what all you really need is already on Game Pass. So just play it on Game Pass and you'll be
did y'all
fine.
hear
You
that?
have access to
Where's it at,
pretty much all the main stories on Game Pass on Xbox.
I love this
good.
podcast that we have now. This is
You're
so
good.
good for me.
You're good.
Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, just Destiny 2 on Game Pass. You have all the main expansions. You don't have the seasonal content, but you
that-
probably don't want to try and go back and play all that anyway, to be
Okay.
perfectly honest, unless you really want to dive off the deep end.
I don't look. I'm old and I break things easily.
Did they fix
so
the
maybe we
map?
start slow.
The map was never broken. They need to
it's
fix you to play this game. That's the problem.
completely
You're broken,
mess.
not the game.
I'm gonna need mediation for you two. I'm gonna need to be like, you sit here. No, you're not holding the speaking ball yet. No.
Look,
no.
I left you and your Travis touchdown alone, okay? I let you have your moment. Now it's Destiny time, okay?
I want.
This sounds like a married couple.
I told you mediation. Dev, when is the new stuff out? When is the witch something?
Hayley agrees.
So the Witch Queen comes out in February with everything else.
Okay.
So right now we have what is it? the season of the Lost. So you're dealing with like all of the fallout of what has happened previously, and it's like the perfect prelude leading into what's going to happen in February with the next expansion. So it just depends. Like the thing with Destiny is there's a lot of story, but if you just jump into the middle, this is like a season. This is like season 5. Right. Actually, it's season 15. But if you weren't here for seasons 1 through 12, you have no idea what's going on.
But does it matter? Yeah. Does it matter that I don't care? I don't think that's how time works, by the way.
It's hard because if you like just the gameplay loop of itself, you can just jump into Destiny and ignore all of that stuff and just shoot some shit and find some stuff and get some gear. But if you actually want to have some semblance of what the hell is going on and why you're doing this, then it's difficult to not have seen some of the story beats. There's plenty of YouTube videos you can watch that are going to be like an hour long. It's going to give you the breakdown of everything that's happened in Destiny up to this point.
That's all I need to know. Yeah. I have to confirm something. When I first played this game at launch, and there was that dumb loot cave that you could go and get all the stupid loot. I'm told they're turning this into a dungeon. Is that actually true?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
They are turning the loot cave into a dungeon.
I'm in.
It's great.
I'm back in. It's so dumb.
That'll be out December 7th.
Oh, really? Oh, that's soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's celebrating the 30th anniversary of Bungie, so...
I was about to say, has Destiny been out that long? I'm so confused. It feels like it sometimes.
Bungie has been out fucking forever, apparently.
I know. I love...
Marathon.
I was going to say, Marathon is one of my favorite games of, all time. I love Marathon and Marathon 2 especially, so I love Bungie. Wow, we actually got through all of the video games we played with minimal fighting.
I appreciate watching Donnie just nod off.
He's done with us. Luke Cage, I'm done.
Ghost of Tsushima and Destiny are nap time.
He could be mad at us. He could be mad. All right, normally this is probably where we would talk about news, but since it's our first show and some of you folks have listened to one or both of these podcasts or none of them at all, we're going to do some questions because questions help us get to know people, especially really stupid questions. We have both. We have smart ones and stupid ones. I'm gonna start at the top of the list here. See, Garrett is also playing Destiny
Garrett.
2.
Boo! Yeah, buddy. It's just the two of you idiots that don't want to jump in.
Just us.
That's it. I was over in Fluxipose and everybody's like in Destiny, jumping into it. It's a lot of people that are trying to come back.
It's like 6 people.
It's not even.
It's a lot more than that.
Damn, that's brutal. Damn,
more
Donnie.
people than are playing Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes. That's for sure.
I don't need. Oh, Jesus. Is the cross?
God damn it!
Is the cross? You're back. That's fine. That's ever.
I would like to quickly, humbly apologize if any offense is meant over in Flexipose. I was merely using you to weaponize against Dev. Is not reflective of my true feelings over Jason or Lucas or anybody else over there. Cicada.
I feel like we need to record one of these, one of those little bumps there, and just leave out the name and insert it with a robot voice.
The views
afterwards.
and opinions expressed on Place Video Games do not necessarily represent
those of all hosts, only Donnie.
So this is what happens when you talk about Destiny 2.
You
Elaine, I thought we talked about this when we were deciding to do this. I told you, no Destiny 2.
No, you didn't. You told me I was in charge.
I will not be censored. Damn it!
Played this one damn game for 7 years. We can't get him to beat anything.
You're just mad because there's nothing that's going to keep your interest that long. I've been playing plenty of other stuff.
I play tons of golf games, man.
That's the problem.
Hold on. You're gonna put golf games against the shooty game and see
Is it the same damn thing?
And
you just sit there and do the same damn thing over and over and over. You can't even
find one. You got to keep jumping because they make so many crappy ones. Destiny is life.
I'm gonna mediate you two. I am. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna mediate you.
God damn it, Hayley.
That's my girl.
I'm not censoring Dev. I like Dev too much. I do. All right, we got questions about video games. We got questions about nonsense. This will be good. Tom Nook 33 has asked the following since we were talking about Ghost of Tsushima. Let's roll with it. Calm yourself. It's not. Jesus.
More?
It's not ghost related.
Focus. Look at me. Focus. Okay. With Ghost Director's Cut being out, focus, Donnie. Which remaining PS4 game is most deserving of a PS5 re-release at 4K 60? What's left? What big games are left? Because didn't Horizon just get a patch?
Horizon did. I'm eager to see it. I bet Horizon 60 is dope.
I think,
Bloodborne.
I mean,
that's
I
the
think
answer.
Bloodborne,
That's
probably.
the answer.
Bloodborne is the answer.
Infamous should get a patch.
No, Infamous is already there.
Infamous was unlocked.
Infamous
on
has an unlocked frame rate, so on PlayStation 5 it runs 4K 60.
But is it running 4K 60? Okay,
It's glorious.
Bloodborne.
I've been playing it the past week. It's awesome.
Why? Why did they?
And it was one of the first games to have HDR too.
That
Oh,
game
no,
is
hang on. In all fairness, the HDR in Infamous is bunk. Turn
busted.
it off.
It's bad.
It's awful.
Yeah,
It's real bad.
It's really bad.
Turn
What
it
about
off.
First Light?
The game is a lot better if you turn HDR off, kick the brightness up about 2. Because I think somebody on Reddit said that the PS5 has either some upscaler or like some sort of automatic HDR that they apply to back-to-back games. Is that true?
Well, so here's the thing. You need to go into the PlayStation settings and do not just turn HDR on, because then it'll put it on for everything.
Yes.
You change this thing to HDR where supported. And that way, it'll only put the games that actually have an HDR mode in HDR instead of using its just blanket, random, weird HDR.
So the people in the Reddit after Infamous got, I don't know, patched or whatever, they said that because of that, it's better with the hardware implementation versus the software implementation. So turn it off in game, kick the brightness up a couple, and I'm playing it and it looks great. I could have talked about it at the top of the show, but I mean, what am I going to talk about? I'm playing Evil. I'm doing the same thing I did 7 years ago. It's great. I'm going around just punching all the cops in the face.
Oh wait, you're playing an old game that's
All
7
the street
years old.
peddlers. But it's a good game. That's the difference. It's actually good.
The vast majority of the internet would
Good.
disagree
People,
with you.
people
I
actually
see my
like
blood
it.
pressure actually. I'm not wearing my watch. That would be like, girl, you need to calm down. Your heart rate is elevated right now.
Cole's dead.
Wanna...
That's all.
Facts.
I'm playing as Troy Baker. I'm Troy Baker.
I know that wasn't for you. That wasn't for you.
I don't want to go back to Second Son. I want to.
But isn't it funny how Second Son is just Troy Baker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
it's
Delson,
literally
like
Troy
why
Baker.
even name him Delson? Like the game would have been more successful if they were like Infamous Second Son
Troy.
with Troy Baker. It's just Troy.
Troy.
It looks like Troy Baker. It
Yeah.
is Troy
It's
Baker.
just
Like
Troy.
it's just Troy Baker.
It's Troy though.
He's got his beanie on it. Like I interviewed Troy Baker. He looks exactly the fucking same. Like I'm looking at the game. I'm like, yeah, that's
This is
definitely Troy Baker.
This is why First Light is the superior product, and that's the one I would go back to play.
Absolutely. I mean,
It's just a
Do
better
love
game.
me some Fetch.
yeah,
God, I
Fetch.
love
Yeah,
no,
she's
this is
dope.
where Dev and I. This is where we become pros. Fetch is.
Yeah.
Fetch
Fetch
is
is
the
awesome.
deal.
It's my favorite
everything.
Infamous product.
It's a
Like, of
shame
all
we
of
don't
the
have like
games
a
that-
full-on Fetch.
Give it to
I
us.
agree.
If you're gonna patch anything with 4K 60 though, just do Bloodborne before people lose their fool.
Yeah, do
mind.
Bloodborne so you can stop tweeting about it.
Shut everybody
Just-
up.
Yeah, just do it.
I
do it
agree.
already.
And I love Bloodborne, but you need to let the people have what they need.
Knack.
to- Shut up.
What?
Yeah.
I fucking like Knack. I don't take this.
You would.
Knack is
You
good.
would.
No.
Is it?
no.
It
is
is.
a game.
No, it is. It's a good game.
It's a
Knack
game.
is good.
Knack 2
Travis
is
Touchdown
good.
is bad.
Knack 2 is really good.
I
don't
didn't play
know.
Knack 2 because I was
There's
done
scales.
after Knack 1. I was good after the first one. I was okay.
You keep on this No More Heroes path. Find yourself muted.
Oh,
real
this one.
fast.
You know what? This next question seems timely because I feel like this is going to happen. The Winter Gamer asks, which podcast host can withstand the most slaps before throwing in the towel? My money is on Elaine. Follow up, I want a ranking of who would be second and third place.
Who's delivering the slaps?
I don't
Have you guys
care.
seen those slap games?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, where they
Oh
stand
my
and they
God.
hold each other's hand and they just crack each other.
Do you see the
across
one where
face.
like the big thick boy hit that little guy? And that little guy was like, I can take it, and then he definitely
just
couldn't.
went down?
And he had like the
Why
tear
is-
tattoo and everything. You were like,
Why is there
dude,
no weight class for this?
You're about to get knocked
Right,
off.
there should be a weight class for this.
He's
weight class
four
or
of you.
something.
He ate 4 of you, and you're about to take a slap
breakfast.
right on the chin from this guy.
His arm is the same size as that whole man.
Oh man, and they do that thing where they just get like this
Just
wind going.
Oh,
Just-
the actual sound on those video games like is butt puckering. Like you could
Oh.
you feel it through your bones.
yeah, I don't know who's delivering this. Is it like is a third party slapper?
Yes, it's a third party slapper. Same one for all of us.
I gotta tell you, I get slapped one time, I'm beating that ass. So I'm immediately losing.
Florida man says if I get slapped one time, I'm beating that ass.
Yeah.
News at 11. I feel
I
like
played when I played football in high school. We ran option, and I was lead quarterback because I got hit in the head a lot and got back up. I don't know if that puts me to win, but I'll just add that as my case.
I feel like
I've been hit in the head a lot, Elaine.
You're a ticking time bomb, though. Then
I'm going to have to go ahead and throw myself into that. I've played with concussions and just keep playing.
Yeah,
I played safety. I played running back. I like getting hit and delivering blows. So
I mean, I did the judo. I got thrown on my head.
Yeah, but there's no delivering here. It's who can withstand the most slaps. You're not slapping anybody else. You're just.
I know.
Yeah,
part of delivering the blow is also absorbing it. So I'm just saying. Give me all the contact.
For Elaine's case here, the part of withstanding most slaps, it's about spirit.
I am very sassy.
Well, we already know she's gonna win.
Don't like
That's
this.
already been taken in the question.
Don't like this. Like I said,
she's the winner.
Yeah.
I'm the one. I'm seeing now. Delvin will fight back. I'll just stand there and deadpan stare at you, and then you're gonna run away because I'm just gonna be like, "Well, that didn't work. Try something else."
I'm gonna beat that ass. I'm gonna drag you from pillars to posts.
We're gonna watch
your ass.
We're gonna watch Florida Man get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen these slap competitions.
No.
I feel like he's gonna feed you to a gator. That's how it works down there, right? You just
Pretty much.
No joke. That is how it works down there.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not joking. It's terrifying.
Did you hear my story when I went on vacation?
No.
I went on vacation 2 or 3 months ago, when COVID dropped to like its all-time low. We went to an Airbnb in Florida. Legit. I'm not lying or exaggerating. Before we even got to our Airbnb, when we got off the freeway, we saw 2 cars pull up the side of the road where they had an accident. They were fighting each other, full fist fights. 3 women, 1 guy. 2 of the women were in their bras, and the dude was covered in blood, just from head to toe, drenched in it. And they were all hitting each other. He was hitting them. They were hitting each other. They were hitting him. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, but
we got here.
Was anybody wearing American flag shorts?
No, it was jean shorts.
Oh, they were jorts?
Close enough.
Yeah,
they were jean shorts.
They were
and there's the first thing. We didn't even get to the house, and I texted Delvin. I've already seen a man covered in blood. We just got here.
And he was like, just one? Just one?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, nice.
It's normal. Super normal.
Ugh.
Was it outside of Publix? Normal. What?
I know, right? And more stories like that to be heard on DLC.
Wild.
Oh God Almighty! I don't even need Jesus anymore. I need Satan for this. I've run out. Jesus can't save me anymore.
Take the wheel.
No, Satan take the wheel. Satan try the bus. Like I'm done.
Oh shit.
Oh God! All right, we got more questions. We got so many questions. Boy. All right. Hayley asks, you get to design a cake based on your favorite game. What's it look like and what flavor is it? Cake. You don't like cake? What are you, a monster?
Sure, but
Tell me a cake.
What are we, 12?
Yes.
Clearly.
I mean, I'm this many years old.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Plus like a few. Dev, what about you? What? All right, let's change the question since we're not going to design a cake. What flavor of cake is your favorite? How about that question?
German chocolate.
Ooh,
my dude!
Good ass choice.
Me and Dev are bros, my man.
You like coconut? Then.
Yeah, but
hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
I get a German chocolate cake every year for my birthday.
Me too.
Yeah.
You just eat it with one fork. It's like, this is mine. Get your own damn cake.
No, I actually do.
Legit.
I grab the whole cake out of the fridge. I take the cake topper off, and I just grab a fork and I just eat off of it.
It's my birthday.
I'm like, you can get a piece, but this is mine. I suggest you start eating on the other side. We'll meet in the middle.
Just cut like a quarter out, and you'd be like, you guys share this quarter. The rest of it's mine.
Why would I even give you a quarter? It's my birthday. This is my cake.
Because I will cut you if you don't share.
That German chocolate is for real.
It's delicious.
All right.
So good.
So, Donnie, is your answer also German chocolate?
I mean, it's my favorite cake. You can't design a video game around German chocolate cake. That's really hard.
You really can't.
Yeah,
like, if you're designing a video game, you have to have that crappy white cake icing that you can
don't have to
color on top of
these ridiculous ass cooking shows. They will find a way.
I don't watch these ridiculous.
I have an idea for a cake.
I'm not Kevin.
All right, let me hear yours, Delvin.
Yeah, because their ideas are terrible. Mine would be.
You didn't even. I didn't even have an idea.
No one gets ideas.
Yeah, how are you gonna you just say German chocolate cake?
My idea is terrible. I just said German chocolate cake is my favorite cake.
Yeah. Do you have an idea?
It'll be a Legend of Zelda German chocolate cake.
Delvin's muted.
God damn.
Okay, we will not withstand any of this hatred on German chocolate cake.
German chocolate cake is good.
Thank you.
But
now
not
we
everybody
allow
likes.
Delvin back.
Not everybody likes coconut.
Delvin, you've been warned by the moderator. That's why.
I'm not the moderator. Hold on. No, wait, I am though. All right, Dev, are you gonna design a cake here, or are you just gonna eat a German chocolate cake and tell everybody to go away?
It'll be like the Legend of Zelda, like take this, don't go alone, it's dangerous, whatever, something like that.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Don't go alone. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous to go along. Take this. It's the beginning of Legend of Zelda. You walk in, you get the sword.
Don't go alone. It's dangerous out there.
This giant black cake it's just
This is a nice
awful.
minute, like that's Zelda sword. Don't at me. Like go away. We're done. Move on.
It's from the original Legend of Zelda, something Donnie has clearly never played.
Take this. It's dangerous out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
It
God.
didn't even take us long to go off the rails. First episode, nice. Delvin, do you have a cake and a cake idea? Please save me. Help.
Yes. It's gonna be Telltale Walking Dead, Clementine's hat on top of the cake.
That's gonna
What?
make me cry. Why you gotta
That
be
is
like,
so
You want
sad.
dead people cake? What kind of nonsense?
Clementine
Is it
is
red
once
velvet
alive.
Is it red velvet inside? So it's just a
Yes.
red ass cake? Oh,
That works.
oh no.
Clementine's hat, maybe a picture of Lee on it. Maybe Zombie Lee. That'll work.
No.
So you just want to bring the whole room down for the cake. This is not a celebration at all.
It's my goddamn cake. I do what I want to do.
It's dangerous out there, Dev. Clearly.
Yeah.
That's
It
why
is
it's just a
clearly,
hat
clearly.
left.
Cut that
Take
hair.
this
Keep that hair short. Keep that
Yes.
hair short.
Take this shit.
Yeah.
Don't go by yourself. It's dangerous out there. Florida be wildin'.
He's scary down here.
That's what it should put on the cake. Florida be wild. That's a good idea.
There's jorts and men covered in blood. You need to watch yourself out here.
Maybe I should put that on the cake.
It's just jorts. It's just a pair of jean shorts on top of the cake. I can't. I hate it. I got nothing left, man. I don't. Donnie, do you have a cake idea, or are you just gonna just eat
Please
German
pass.
chocolate?
Next.
All right. We'll go to the next question. We got other questions. Good God. Boy, we have so many. Okay, yeah. Yarden says, before the disagreements begin, sorry, too late.
Way too late.
Can all four of you agree on the one single game that you would enjoy playing together the most?
Yes.
None.
I got one. I got one.
What do you think, Donnie?
Far Cry 5.
I don't know. I want to play.
God
Forza.
damn it.
We play Forza together. Forza. But the Forza with the driving?
You're not going to get Delvin on that one, though.
Nope. Not at all.
See, the answer to this question is no. It's not.
The answer
Exactly.
should be. I thought we all liked Forza 5. You were all picked for this assignment
Far
because
Cry?
we all
Far Cry
5. Yeah,
I'd
we all
play
like
Far Cry 5.
yeah.
I'd play Far Cry 5.
I would.
See,
could do
Delvin,
that.
you play
I'd
Far
be
Cry
on a
5.
completely different side of the map, but I would
I don't want to
play
be
Far
near
Cry 5.
y'all, but...
because I'm going in stealth and I'm not having Donnie ruin that.
Oh, but blowing shit up is so good.
Oh, that'd be
though.
funny though. That'd be a great stream.
You guys can
We
go
get in the
blow
back.
shit up.
Did you see?
I'm
You see
gonna be
Delvin?
over
He's
here
like
with
he's
the
trying to
bow
take
fucking
everybody out,
fools
and then
up.
I just fucking crash a helicopter right into the middle of the shit.
You know what?
I mean,
Oh,
that was
that
Anthem
actually-
for us.
That actually
That was
happened to
Anthem
me.
for us.
I come out of the smoke with like damn tigers and bears, double arm machine guns.
This actually happened to me playing a game with my friend Leah. We were playing one, it was like it might have been Ghost Recon, it might have been Wildlands or something. And I'm like going in and kind of sneaking through, and all of a sudden I pan the camera and there's a car upside down on fire on the other side. I'm like, what did you do when I wasn't looking? Like, so yeah, I've had this experience. It's very funny. It's very funny.
We have to make this happen now. You
We
do
should play
realize
Far Cry
this,
5. We should stream that.
Should.
That's what we should
We
do.
should.
Yeah.
That would be fucking awesome.
That would be awesome. There would be a lot of laughter and screeching about.
But in serious, Delvin, you should really like Forza.
I'm gonna try it.
Good. Try
I'ma
Forza.
try it.
You got Game
I
Pass.
mean, it's on Game Pass. You got no reason not
The
to.
new Forza's gonna
I have a
be
reason.
incredible.
I don't want to. That's the reason.
Game Pass nullifies all your
I'm
nonsense.
just gonna
reasons.
start sending you messages that give you sad faces and say, "Come play Forza Horizon 5 with me." I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm
Then
gonna.
he's gonna send you his sad ass cake. He's gonna send you a picture of his sad ass cake.
Clementine's hat, yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Zombie Lee.
I hate it so much.
Happy birthday on the side. Just chin up.
Happy birthday, chin up. Sorry, you're dead. Happy birthday. Like, all right. Epic Lotus, I think is how we're going to say this. In which order would you or did you introduce your favorite games to your kids? This is a good question. Donnie, let me start with you.
What does it mean by which order? Like console?
Or like if you have like 3 or 4.
So you have a list of your favorite games. Which order did you introduce them to your children?
Specific games.
Or would you? Yeah, games.
Yeah, okay, I got you. All right. Victoria got started in games really young, maybe about 4 or 5. Really young, toddler Victoria. Her first console was a 3DS, and her first games were some of the virtual console games, Mario, and I think I got her Sims and Animal Crossing because I thought she would like those, and she loves Animal Crossing. So she did that for a few years, and that evolved into like a big love for party games. She likes Mario Party, and she loved Nintendo Land and Just Dance and all the karaoke games. And then she really just faded out of games after that. So then Jack got started also with a 3DS. He got Mario Kart, Smash. Jack's the Smash player. He's the pro player in the house. Jack likes Smash and Halo, and like he likes get good games. So so he started playing those, and then when we got the Wii U, he evolved to the console versions of those games. And we got the Switch, he got Breath of the Wild, and that really cemented his Zelda love. And he knows all about the Zonai. He watches thousands of YouTube conspiracy videos on what Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be. Like, the kid knows more than me about ever. Like, he just dives so far off the deep end into all of these topics. He's super into Halo. He's ecstatic for Halo Infinite. So yeah, just that kind of stuff. Like, I don't really.
Do you not nudge them towards games you love ever?
Not really. I think that's natural. I think they'll see the games that I play, and then they'll naturally be curious if they're into it. Like, Jack is not into scary games at all. He's not into scary movies or anything. Like, he doesn't even like the Chucky's here. Like, he won't sleep in the basement.
That's because they're creepy.
I don't blame him.
Right, I'm with the kid. Like,
they're fine. They're fine.
So, like, he's not into Dying Light or anything like that. So, like, when that stuff comes, like when he sees me playing it, but he really likes shooters. He loves Fortnite and he loves Apex. So, anytime there's a competitive shooter, he's into it. So, if he sees me playing something like that, that's when he gets interested. And then Victoria, she played 200 hours of Animal Crossing, and then she told me she was done. I don't think she's picked up a video game since then.
I mean, she's a teenager, and they either stay in or they get out, and like, I stayed in forever because I was a big nerd, but I get it,
Well, she stayed in for quarantine. She still didn't play. Like, she just stopped. It was weird. It's like she woke up one day and just wasn't into video games anymore.
Yeah. Dev, what about you? Have you bothered? Do you like spend the time to introduce your favorites to your kids, or do you just let, like, you say those were a time and place for me and let it go forward?
The problem with me is, like, my favorite games, they're not old enough to play yet. Like, it just, like, I'm not letting my son play Destiny. It's just not happening.
Right.
He can't play World of Warcraft. Like, it's too complicated. A lot of the games that I like are my favorites, they're just too complicated for them to play. So I've started to try to introduce them to, like, some of my favorite Super Nintendo games, but those are also too difficult for them.
They're hard. Yeah, they
So they've really been enjoying, like, Mario, which just breaks my heart because fuck Mario. I'm sorry. Man.
Satan, take the wheel on this one. I'm going to piggyback. I'm actually going to, since you guys have both kind of answered this question, I'm going to read Sean without an H's question here just to kind of rope it all in. One thing I enjoy about y'all's work is talking about gaming as grown-up folks with kids and families. With young kiddos, I'm starting to think through where to start them in gaming. Donnie basically answered this question. You're answering it too. For those with kiddos, where did y'all start? Any recommendations beyond, like, bad tie-in games? So
Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
Nintendo stuff, period.
Minecraft.
My kids love Kirby. They love Minecraft. Mario
Animal Crossing
3
is
Land.
also
Mario.
Very accessible. Mario's accessible.
Splatoon.
I mean,
They love Smash too.
Splatoon. I was going to say Splatoon is a game that my kids have gotten really attached to. They're playing Splatoon 2 still, and they play a ton of that. They like what else is? My son plays a ton of Minecraft. They played a ton of that stuff. That stuff is very accessible for little kids. because much like you, Dev, like I love The Witcher 3. It's not appropriate for my children yet. Even my 11-year-old, I'm like, maybe not sex on stuffed unicorns yet. Maybe we just don't.
Yeah.
Maybe we leave that out for now. You know, like, so I haven't gotten, they're not there yet. Yeah. And also, I have a thing about kind of not wanting to force what I love onto my children.
Same.
I would rather them access the hobby their way and fall in love with it for different reasons than me, or not love it. That's fine too. But I don't do that. I don't really do it.
Yeah. Me and Jack.
I'm very happy.
Similar opinions on games at all, really.
Yeah.
My son found Transformers, and he has just completely fallen off the deep end in love with Transformers. So, like, he's always playing Transformers Devastation, which was a game I never played, but I'm here for it because I love Transformers.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's a really good game. I was surprised. I was like, this is
a
really good game.
It's a good tie-in
game. On this.
It's a good tie-in game.
One of my favorite games.
It's a great game. Delvin, do your kids play? Do you push it, or do you just kind of let them explore it their way?
No, they kind of watch me play it when they were younger, and they kind of just got into it themselves. And my son has now played almost every game that I used to play and stuff like that, and he loves it. My daughter is into Animal Crossing and Pokemon and stuff like that. She's a Nintendo girl, so that's pretty cool watching them. See, when I was younger and when they were younger, I kind of had like
God damn it.
But yeah. I had a whole bunch of stuff in my house because I was like a big ass. My dream house, and this is an old ass reference, was the house from Silver Spoons.
Oh man,
so
that is an old ass reference.
Silver Spoons.
Oh Jesus,
we're old, Donnie. Just forget about it.
It's a TV show.
What the hell is Silver Spoons?
It's
like
old.
I like to think I'm pretty knowledgeable. I've never heard of this.
You are the youngest ass one here, though. I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver Spoons.
This
ended the year I was born.
Exactly.
Oh, there you have it.
The show is about basically a millionaire who found out he has a son.
People.
Yeah. Millionaire found out he has a son, but he himself is a big ass kid.
Yeah.
He has like arcade cabinets in his house and a train that goes through the whole house. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I want.
I want to live there. I
don't know anything about this, but I'm just looking at like still images of the show, and it's very funny.
Yeah, it is.
It's ridiculous.
And my house kind of like that. I have like the arcade cabinets.
House.
This kid has like a little vest on. He's these big ass aviators and stuff. This blonde.
I got a cabinet down in my basement too, Delvin, and I got all this stuff, and I'm living in my dream house too, and it's like fun, and the kids just hang out, and it's like so nice to let them kind of settle into it, you know. I feel that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was. Even when I was young, I had like a basketball. You know, like you would go to the arcade, and you see like the basketball hoops that you shoot, and I had that in my house. Yeah, that was my thing.
There's so many vests.
It's a white ass people show. There are vests. It's a rich people show.
There's so many vests.
Vests and comb overs. It's bad.
I want to say that's the first show. Carlton from the Fresh Prince was on.
Yeah, Carlton was.
Oh damn, that's right.
Where he got his. That's where he got his break.
Yep.
Yeah.
A word. All right, I'm gonna throw in a couple silly ones here. Kaiju Box says, "Dill or sweet pickles? Does the P in PSVG stand for pickles? Do y'all eat pickles?
Pickles and video. I love pickles.
I love pickles.
Dill pickles.
I'm a fan of relish, big time.
All right, relish is basically sweet pickles.
It's not
for all intents and purposes. I love relish.
I do not.
But it's pickles. They're just chopped up.
I don't like it.
I prefer dill pickles. You know the ones, I don't know if you guys have ever had this experience. We'd all the auction houses and stuff where like people put out rented tables, and there would always be those big ass barrels that they would have the garlic dill pickles in that you could buy, and that's my favorite way.
You get them from a barrel?
They were in a barrel. They were
like everybody puts their hands in.
No, they had tongs. Like, what do you think? We're animals?
It's like does somebody hand you the pickle, or are you getting your own pickle?
Someone hands you
with the tongs, with gloves on.
There's a nice man who just puts the pickle in the bag for you. You pay him $1, you have a pickle. But they were the best. That's not... You would charge $1. You would.
It's worth it.
I'm charging $5.
That's it.
Right? Damn, Dad. It's called a stud fee.
Y'all really, you're either undervaluing yourselves or you're valuing yourselves.
Okay.
That's right. I can't speak to it.
I like spicy pickles. I like dill pickles. But here's the thing that I always tell people when they ask me about pickles that always throws everybody for a loop. I swear I don't think I've ever met anybody in real life who tells me they like this, but I swear it's great. I love dill pickles on my salad.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've seen that.
I feel like it's a pretty common thing, but man, when I tell my family and stuff, they're like, "That's fucking weird."
I like them on sandwiches too.
I made it for my family. My brother and sister-in-law were in 2 weeks ago, and I always make fun of my mother-in-law's salad. She makes a salad. I don't know about you guys, but it's like just lettuce and like a slight sprinkling of cheese.
That's not salad. That's just a bowl of lettuce.
That's grass.
That's exactly what I tell her. I'm like, this is a bowl of lettuce. This is not salad. So I demanded.
Tomatoes,
I was like,
eggs,
I would like to make the
something,
salad for this dinner. And they were like, what? I was like, I would like to be in charge of the salad. So I went to the store. I got pickles, I got cucumbers, I got tomatoes, I got croutons, I got bacon bits, I got cheese. I usually do like shredded cheese as well as like crumbled cheese because you need textures, like lettuce.
Textures, all right.
Yeah. Chop all of that up, bell pepper, chop all of that up, mix it up, and then, serve. And I was the only person that even tried it. They all looked at me. They're like, I don't know. And my wife was like, I don't know where he got this from.
Needs more
This
lettuce.
is where I want to be like, you white people and your lack of seasonings. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with your, where's the seasonings? That's what all that was.
Yeah,
God damn it. That was beautiful, Donnie. That was a beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Salads are a whole ass meal for me. It's basically lettuce with a whole ass meal on top of it. Taco salad, salad. That's a meal.
Like when you tell me, like, do I want a salad? Like that's a meal. Like I'm legit.
On that. Let's go.
Like, are we cooking some chicken and shit? Like, let's make a salad.
Steak on the salad. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like a salad is a meal that I can
lettuce
walk
and
around
some shredded cheese is missing the rest of the salad.
That's
not a salad.
You don't need
Not
that.
at all.
That's a disappointment.
They looked at me like I was crazy. I sat there and I usually chop them into not like little chunks, but I usually chop them into like slices, my little pickles.
Yeah.
Or if you have pickled chips, you can just throw those in.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like that the sour of the dill pickle
I like that.
mixed
It's
with like the
garlicky.
cheese or like a crouton or anything like, or a tomato. Like it just that makes a salad. That takes salad next level.
I get sad if there aren't at least 4 things on top of lettuce. That's like a minimum for a salad for me.
I agree.
4 items. Minimum.
I like that. That's a good rule. That's a
Right?
damn
Like,
motto.
Very good rule.
That's a
Very good
motto.
rule.
That's tombstone worthy.
Yep.
I like
I
it.
get mad if there's not 4 things in my lettuce.
Angry. I'm out. Like if someone just
Donnie
hands me a
rests
bowl of
here.
lettuce with some shredded cheese and ranch
1987 to
dressing, get out.
2030. I get angry when there's not 4 things on top of my
Hold
salad.
on. You gave yourself 8 more years?
Dude, I'm not gonna get that far. Like,
Damn.
it's not gonna be that. Look, listen here. When you drink as much as I drink, and you live the life that I lead, it's not a life that has a long road ahead of it.
Dev's just holding his beer like, oh, I'm making a portion.
I mean, but if you're going out happy, what
That's
difference
it.
does it make, right?
I'm trying to make these years count.
Live your life.
Not a whole lot of
Yoke
salads.
self. That's what we're doing.
Probably
Yeah,
because
no-
of these salads.
No sad salads. And if you don't have a protein on your salad, what is you doing, baby? Come
Yeah,
on.
For real.
Right.
What is you doing? All right, this one's a good question, so I'm going to read it. Hyrule Podcaster says, if you could have all the knowledge of a game wiped from your memory so you could play it fresh, what would it be?
I just answered this question on Shaq.
Delvin, hit
Telltale Walking Dead Season 1.
That's a really
Oh
good
my
answer.
God! You
What
are
is
just
with
trying
this
to
game?
make
This
me
is starting to reach
cry over
Destiny
here.
levels.
Damn it!
I
That's a
love
good
that
answer.
game.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That game was so fucking good.
It was.
That game came
Yeah.
out when I had my daughter, and it broke me.
Cried.
And you cried. You cried.
100% broke me.
Grown ass
I
man
love
crying.
it.
I cried.
I love
My
it.
wife
That-
woke up in the middle of the night, and she was like, "Are you crying?" Because
You're
I
like,
beat
"Yes."
it at like 12:15. He was like,
Same.
"It was really beautiful."
It's good. And I'm so sad. Yeah. I like ugly cried at the end of that. I did.
Yeah.
Not even
Oh my
sorry.
God.
Not even sorry.
That one and like The Last of Us, I had to put down for a week after the beginning because again it came out. My daughter was born. I was like, I can't do this. I got to put this down. I can't even play this.
I
This is nonsense.
had that intro. I turned off the PlayStation and I took a timeout. And my husband was like, why
I
are you?
did the
He's like,
exact same thing.
Don was like, why are you crying? The game just started. I'm like, because the little girl, I gotta go. Like I was a mess. It was a real big energy moment. Dev, what about you? You got a game for this?
Probably Link to the Past. Shut up. Link to the Past because I'd want to see if I played it again, would I love it as much as I love it now?
That's an interesting answer. Yeah, that's a good answer. Donnie, what's your answer?
We just did this question on Shaq, so I
And
feel
we're
bad.
doing
but
it again.
It was Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a more recent one.
Yeah, I know. And I think a lot of people pick like their favorite games. Like I could pick like Last of Us or Wind Waker or stuff like that. I think in Dev's fashion, I would probably go Ocarina. I think that first time out in Ocarina, I was like, wow. But the feeling was so much more impressive with Breath of the Wild, and it was the same feeling. Breath of the Wild is my answer. For those that don't listen to Shaq, if you're listening here, Breath of the Wild was so special because you had this entire sandbox world, which is not unique to Zelda or Nintendo, but they did it in a unique way that is unique to them. Like their spin on it was unlike anything that was ever done before. Their systems and mechanics you didn't find, like the way that you can use weather and gravity, as well as like their ability to temporary buff with food and their durability weapons and all the things that make that game great in terms of how all of these systems counterbalance and check each other. It led to an experience that I just found very enlightening, and I always come to the word like awareness. The amount of learning, it was like I was just downloading tons of information with every new GIF and every new video snippet and every new thing that was like, hey, did you know you could do this? Just more and more memory.
That's true.
I was just learning it as I go. It was just this discovery is really the word. Just discovering all that was out there to find. I play so many open world games. That is probably like my jam. If you were to like try to paint me in a box, I love open world games. And there's never been an open world game that I've played where I felt that discovery like that. I think for a lot of different reasons. I think the way that they used traversal and navigation, the way they hid things for me on the map, as opposed to like a Creed that shows you everything on the map. In a lot of ways, I think Ghost takes some of those kind of lessons with it, and it tries to do the same thing. But there's nothing like that first time. You always remember your first, right? And it was like, I don't know if I'll ever have that feeling again. And then, as I said on Shaq, it makes me wonder, like, I don't know what my expectations are for Breath of the Wild 2, but I can't imagine that it'll be the same.
It's going to be hard to go into that because you're going to be expecting that same hit. And you're probably not going to get it.
And I'm trying to tell myself
like
not to. Like, even I keep telling myself, I'm like, they can't do that again. Like, that's an unreasonable expectation.
It's hard.
But it was. And I always say, like, if you were open and willing to learn Breath of the Wild's game, that's the special sauce. It's not the story, it's not anything. It's being open to learn how this world works. And then once you learned it, it's very rewarding to then bend those systems back against the game.
Sure.
Like when you fudge a boss or you beat a puzzle in a way that you weren't supposed to, it's so gratifying because you've taken this knowledge that the game has, like these laws, and then you've basically used them for your own good. But it always seems fair. It never seems unfair. Even when the game's hard, it never seems unfair.
Yep. That's a good answer too. Mine is another open world game, but mine would be The Witcher 3. And it's if I look at my time with that game across 2 or 3 PlayStations, I probably put almost 300 hours in. Like, it's one of those games where I could play it the whole way through again, and the experience wasn't the same, but I enjoyed being back in the world. And for me, that like world and that universe and how they built characters, like, it dragged me back into the books, which ended up being probably a book series that I value as much as lots of people see like Game of Thrones or The Lord of the Rings. Like, that's my fantasy book series. That's my fandom book series. And for a game to be able to do that and to be able to write interesting side stories, like there's one very early, and everybody talks about it. You go to this old lady who's missing her frying pan. And that side story writing takes you down this rabbit hole of like this story about 2 guys on battlefields, all this stuff. It's those kinds of moments in The Witcher. It's kind of like Breath of the Wild. You go and find them and you don't know what's there. And then you go down this line of quests and suddenly you're learning about people and about experience. And it's one of those things too, where it's like they tie all of the socioeconomic stuff and politics in really nicely of how the world works in a way that doesn't feel forced down your throat or there for like, it's not there to speak to something in modern day so much as it's there to paint a richer backstory underneath. It's I would love to have the experience of like, what's this question mark on this map again? You know, those games are very special, and that one in particular. So look at us with
looking forward to the super remastered version or whatever.
I can't wait to replay that when they dump that patch out. Whenever, I think it's early next year, late this year. I'm excited. I don't care. I'll play it again.
Finish it.
But at this point with CD Projekt, who knows?
Yeah, that's
right.
Dumpster fire. All right, let's do this one. Ahoy, Adam. What is the dumbest video game argument you've ever been in?
Like video game news
All of
story or like video game like argument about the game?
I think we can interpret this however we want. Let me tell you,
I've had a few.
Mine was the 1990s Super Nintendo versus Genesis shit that happened on the playground. That was the dumbest ass crap. Little kids running up and be like, Sega does what Nintendo don't, and people fighting about this. It was looking back on it, I'm like, we cared so much. We cared so much because we were all broke ass kids who could only afford one. And we fought over it, and it was so stupid when you really look back on it. That was mine. It was console war nonsense. What you guys got? Who wants to go next? Dev, what you got?
I want to say, any conversation with Donnie. That's the dumbest.
I was going to say that too.
Does it be your answer too?
Damn. I'm coming for you. I'm not spending on this. I'm gonna let this happen.
Just because like the whole idea of the arguments are just dumb. Like it's video games, it's fun, so they're all dumb. But I mean, you hit it on the head with the console stuff. Like, oh my god, being the Nintendo kid and yelling at the Sega kids. Oh my god, it was so much fun, you know?
The worst part is it's still happening.
Is that really the dumbest though? Because like people are really into that, and like the companies embrace it. Like I don't know if I use the word dumb.
It is dumb because we fed into a marketing hype thing.
That's true.
We and we're doing it now. We're doing it.
We
now
still do it now. Like the shots we take at
kids.
each other.
And we're on Twitter like doing the same thing. Like maybe not directly us, but people from that era who lived through that are still doing it because we fed right into the marketing hype, and we're still doing it. It's dumb. It's so stupid.
It is.
Yeah, I also think a lot of that's human nature.
Absolutely.
Like we said, it's no different than sports. There's a lot of products that kind of generate those same fandoms. It's not specific to video games.
It's tribalism.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's always stupid.
100%.
Tribalism is always dumb. Like when it's taken to the extreme of.
When it's taken to the extreme.
Yeah, and that's usually what happens with this kind of stuff. When you're so invested that you're fighting over a video game console on the playground, you done messed up, man. You got better stuff to do with your time. You could be playing the video games at home. Like what are you doing? You got one, Donnie?
I've done a few that I think are really dumb that I look back and I'm like, I really wish I wouldn't have done that.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
The first one, we had Gabe Patillo over on our podcast, and we got down this crazy rabbit hole about like whether or not somebody could license a song and play it, and then like it ran down to like strip clubs and shit, and like I listened back to it and I'm like, the hell are we even talking about? It just like got off the rails. And I think it was because somebody was using their music. It was a stream, right? Like somebody was using their music in a stream, and they took it down. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like if you can listen to the song, like you could just be listening to the song on the stream. Like I think even more so, like, and I still feel that way. I'd still argue for it today. So I guess I haven't learned my lesson, but it's like, especially if you're not monetized. Like if you're not monetized, who cares? You're not making any money off of it. Like you're not doing anything that you can't already do. I also you want to roll your eyes even harder, Elaine.
Please.
You remember when Microsoft got into like all that hot water because they had booth babes at that after party at E3?
Oh, I remember.
I argued for that because everybody was just like, "Oh, this is awful. Microsoft sucks. Video games are bad." And now, like you look at today's light and today's news.
How you feeling about that now, Donnie?
No, I don't feel good about it.
I don't think you should.
But I didn't defend it as much as I just said. It's like I understood it because like booth babes, if that's what you want to call it, like that's a real thing in a lot of industries. It's not just them.
Have you been to a car show?
Have you? Yeah, like
exactly.
So I was just looking at it like that. I was like, come on, it's not like the end of the world. They had pretty girls. Like people like pretty girls dancing like at parties. Like
girls like pretty girls.
Yeah, like 100%. Yes, I do.
Yeah, so like
not to sell.
I did that, and I remember like not a lot of people were not happy with me because I don't think it's like smart to say anything like that in the gaming space.
That's probably, or any space, right? It's probably
no. But in a gaming space, it's severely slanted in this one way.
Yes.
You know, so I've had and my worst one might have been the Xbox adaptive controller.
What did you do?
Say what now?
What did you do?
Yeah, what did you? What was your argument?
When the Xbox adaptive controller was originally shown, to be clear and 100% honest, I had no issues with the controller at all or what they were doing. That was fine. what I didn't like is that they were doing it all at a time, and they put it out like right ahead of E3. If I remember correctly, I think it was like a month out, maybe 3 weeks out of E3. And I was like, they were in such a bad place at the time with all of their first party games either being canceled or being awful or like long delayed, and their console was a mess and all that. I was just like, this is not what they should be focused on right now. Like,
oh my God,
what the hell are they doing? Like, they should be doing, like, they should be making better games and fixing their hardware and all this stuff. And
all
dude,
right, I'm my head out.
That was obviously that was the wrong.
I have to tell this story now.
It was the wrong story. It was the wrong take to have. I get that.
I have to tell the story because it connects to this. Okay. I had a guest on my podcast who's, if I'm correct, he's paraplegic. And the first thing he said to me was how that Xbox controller made it so he could play games. And I think he was one of the first people to test it out and stuff like that. And he tells this heartfelt story about that controller. And now hearing this.
Oh, and obviously.
He wouldn't die laughing to hear this, by the way.
Again, clearly it wasn't meant as any like slant or slam against, people with disabilities using the controller. Like that I liked. I just didn't like that they went super hard on it, right? They had the Xbox Wire, they had the video, they had the like it was a big thing, and I was like, I get it, and I'm glad, but like your big thing right now is that your console sucks. Like, what are you doing about that?
Long time to die on the hill.
You're right.
You're right. Long time to die on the hill, dude.
Well, so I get it because Crackdown was coming out. Like,
it was a shit show. Like when they, I'm telling you, I don't remember exactly when, but if you look it up, I strongly remember the climate they were in. This was before Game Pass. This was like before all this shit came out. Like when they were doing this, like they were,
no, they were.
It was a mess.
But this was still a good call by them.
It was,
no matter the timing.
but at the time, I was looking at it. Honestly, I was looking at it as like, is this like a marketing thing? Like, I was just like, what are they doing? Because it wasn't their, like, that didn't seem to be an initiative from them or anybody, right? So like, just give myself a little. Like, we'd never seen anything like that before. So I wasn't sure if this was like one of those weird controllers that we get every 2 years that just goes away.
Yeah. That thing.
We're able-bodied, so we have.
Yeah, we don't
know. We can't appreciate. I cannot appreciate something like that when I first saw it. Now, when the stories came out,
it's
when we started hearing about the guy who got his daughter to play Breath of the Wild, it's like, now I have a whole new appreciation for it. Obviously, but I'm talking about day one reaction, like 15 minutes after that news drop. That's the shit I was saying, and people.
You definitely take the cake for the dumbest argument.
Yeah, people were not having it.
That was woo boy. You could let that.
The other one I was going to bring up, Elaine, was the Xbox.
Don't bring up no more. We don't want to get canceled.
I was going to say the gold.
Oh, your live gold opinion.
When the live gold price went up, I think I was the only person that was like, "Great, let's kill this shit." Get it out of here. Make it expensive. Yeah. Like, everybody was super mad.
And everyone was like, you need to calm yourself.
Yeah.
His argument makes perfect sense.
Kill it.
Let's jack up the price so nobody buys it so they can kill it.
Kill it with fire. I was all on board. And, like, every Xbox person was like, Microsoft, you need to listen to us and demand that you stop. And it's just like, demand? What the hell are you?
It worked.
Yeah,
it did.
I
did. I still wish that they didn't. I wish they had a little more Saints Row in them.
Does gold still exist? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
still a thing. We can't move forward because people won't kill the past.
We're not doing this again. We're not.
Kill it if you have to.
Let it die. Kill it if you have to.
No, I agree with you. We're just okay. Okay.
Delvin, did you have some?
Did you?
No, not really.
Oh, you're just a perfect opinion all the time?
It's not
Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit.
My opinions are more on like Marvel and DC stuff as opposed to video games, because once a video game argument starts, like, okay, this is stupid.
What's your bad Marvel argument?
Delvin doesn't have a game he doesn't like. That's the thing.
Neither do I. I don't.
Well, Destiny 2.
Yeah,
Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's
you ain't played it, so your opinion is not valid.
Well, Destiny 1, I played that one. That was shit.
What's your bad Marvel opinion?
Why are you going to make him rehash it?
You just don't have any bad opinions.
Well, I'm perfect, but
look at him.
He lives in Florida. He has to have good opinions.
This is what's wrong with Florida. This is what everybody in Florida thinks.
Honey, there's a lot worse than that.
I'm trying to think.
Have you seen the news that comes out of Florida? Are you sure?
I don't know. There's a lot of jorts in Florida.
Dude molested a tree. Like, what are you talking about?
How do you molest a tree?
Yeah.
Right?
You whittle first, and then I'm not.
Didn't ask for consent, so.
Well,
you gotta ask the tree for
point
consent.
to Elaine.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't enable me. Why would you do that?
Can't go sticking your wiener in the bark. That's a little.
You're
weird.
gonna get.
Why are you just gonna assume it was a guy?
Yeah.
I thought you said a guy. You said he, didn't you?
Just big meaty meat, men slapping you.
It was a big meaty man slapping meat.
Slapping the tree. Sometimes after you talk to people, you just need to lay down for a little while, maybe cry in the dark. That's how I'm gonna be later. This is gonna be fine. I'm gonna read this question and roll it in. Mike Fowler says, who should be the fourth cast member? Sorry. Chat messages came up and done and got me. Who should be the fourth cast member after Delvin gets removed for not playing Destiny 2, a game of the generation?
Fuck that game.
I'm not getting rid of him. I need him. How? Okay, if I take him off the show, if we take him off and we don't get Florida Man stories, that would be very
This
upsetting.
is true.
That would be very
See, Mike Fowler thinks he's fucking slick. He's like, take him off so I can come in. No.
Step back,
You're not
Mike.
coming
I need
in.
Florida Man. I need him.
I am here for life.
I can't get rid of any of these fools. I can't get rid of them. We're stuck now. I'm stuck with this. This is my life now. This is my life. Good God. All right.
The fact that we all did the For Life thing from fucking NWO.
Yes.
A bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
I have Witcher tattoos, and y'all are the nerds. Just so we're very clear about who
Hey, I'm a geek, okay? I'm not a nerd. I'm a geek.
I have a Chucky doll.
Because we're cooler.
I think I'm both. It depends on the
If the
situation.
glove fits.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read
I'm a
one
hot
more.
nerd.
I'm gonna let you have that. This one is. I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you have this moment. Don't
Yeah.
let him have the moment. Friends Kinky says, Elaine, ask D Cox what is one of his favorite hip hop tracks that no one knows about.
Oh, this is my area of expertise.
You get one. You get one.
Okay.
One track.
This is hard now.
I'm gonna put
God
you on the
damn
spot.
it.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm gonna go this way. Because I think this one's easy for people to find. And Dev knows this one. But in the mid-90s, there was a beef between LL Cool J and Cannabis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Throwing it back right now for me.
LL Cool J's response to Cannabis diss record, which was second round knockout, was only released on a green CD that happened to come with DMX's first album.
That I
So
own.
if you don't have that green CD, you can never hear this song again unless you look it up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The song's called "The Ripper Strikes Back," and it's
Ripper Strikes Back, baby.
It's a 5-minute to 6-minute diss song dissing not only Cannabis but Mike Tyson and Wyclef.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic song.
All right.
So
That's a good
fun
ass
little part to that. When back in the day when me and Kevin were trying to have our little silly ass PSVG rap battle beef, I was actually gonna use the Ripper Strikes Back beef for my second part to respond to Kevin.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Because that beat is fucking amazing. We
It
just
is.
dropped it because nobody wanted to play along. Like everybody was like, we don't want to talk trash about this.
Oh,
Me and Kevin were like, fuck it.
fun fact: I used to battle rap a long time ago when I was in high school. That was a thing.
Oh, were you good at it though?
Yeah,
We're gonna
I was
get-
pretty
Alright.
decent.
We're gonna get stories now.
We're gonna get stories.
Eventually, yeah.
No DLC for Delvin. We know this. No DLC for him.
Oh my God. All right. We're going to hit a couple more. We got a couple more questions. I want to get through them all today since it's our premiere show. We got a little bit more time. Hobby 1K wants to know, are there any games you enjoy that you usually don't bring up around others for one reason or another? I'm going to answer this first. I don't bring video games up around any other parents ever because 99% of the time they don't love video games and they sneer at me, and I do not have the energy for that kind of bullshit.
Oh, come on. Give us a better answer, though.
I don't. I'm trying
Lisa
to think.
Shoot
Of things
Larry.
Yeah,
this
what's
is
the,
like this
what's
is
the
the
guilty pleasure game?
secret shame game.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. I don't know. I only play good video games. What? What?
Wow. Wow.
She's perfect. She's perfect.
What? I don't think I have a direct answer for this. Like
Catherine, No More Heroes, Senran Kagura.
Catherine sucks.
I
suck.
Catherine.
Oh, hell no. Absolutely fucking not. What the hell is the matter with him? Are you kidding me? Catherine?
You have to put him back.
What?
There is anger. There is anger.
I had the collector's edition of Catherine for Switch, and my ex threw it out.
Oh Lord,
dude! I saw gameplay for that, and I was like, "What the fuck is this nonsense?"
It's a weird puzzle game. That's what it is.
Yeah, the gameplay.
Hot girls.
I was like, "This is the dumbest game I've ever seen in my life."
They're so hot.
The story is weird, and okay, yeah, you got hot girls, but the actual game.
I like playing the puzzle game.
Yeah, you like Qbert and stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good. You like Qbert?
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, fuck Qbert.
What
are you gonna be?
Fuck Qbert. Did you just say fuck Qbert?
Are
you a monster?
I'm not. Platform jumping is not something I enjoy ever.
Oh my Lord, that poor little adorable Qbert, and you're out here cursing at him?
I'm sorry, Qbert was cursing at us. What are you talking about? That's why everything was blurred out.
It's true. Yeah, that's legitimate. Does anybody else have a game that's a guilty pleasure besides all of Donnie's pretty girl games? Because that's up there.
I mean, I don't bring up Destiny around fucking
Fire
Donnie.
Emblem is not. Yeah,
can be.
Shadows of the Dam, I think it's called.
Okay, that is a really good game that is very difficult to sell.
Lollipop Chainsaw. I mean, we could just say.
Lollipop. I agree.
Suda.
Basically, all of Donnie and Delvin's old man perv games. Basically, is what.
Yes,
my man.
The big
my man.
Facts.
Old man perv games. It's just.
That's what it is.
It's a genre.
Yes.
Yeah. Legit.
Lord.
Don't act like you guys don't do it.
I don't play those games. I legit don't.
I played Catherine. I played and loved Catherine.
If the combat, like I want combat. I want actual gameplay.
That's combat.
I don't care about the chicks.
Shadow of the Dam.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
Game.
Lollipop Chainsaw looked like it would be cool, but I was like, I ain't got time for that.
But he's got 8 years of time for Destiny.
Damn straight.
He likes Destiny.
Destiny is great. The gunplay in that game is
some good shooting.
Some of the best. It's
better than
great.
Halo.
It's better than Halo.
Yeah.
It's better than Halo. There's aim down sights for all the guns. I can't.
Don't at me, people. I like it better than Halo. TPR has written us the question that is the shortest question that TPR has ever written, because usually I get a whole paragraph, which I love, and I appreciate his dedication to giving us background. TPR says, woo! What are some games you all simply wouldn't have been invested in if not for the sentiment of your fellow podcasters? We'll say we could extend this to our Discord group as well, because I think that broadens it a little bit. Boy, you guys does anybody have an answer for this?
No, I play games. If you recommend a game to me, I'm gonna not play it just because you recommended it to me.
Why are you like this? You're like a child.
He truly is. He's the fucking worst.
Nope,
not doing that.
You can't make me.
No,
every time.
Fortnite.
Every single time.
Oh my god.
To shout out our Board with Video Games crew, I think Kyle and I share a lot of overlapping games, especially like on the indie side.
Mm-hmm.
So usually when he's into something, I usually take his recommendations, and I almost always play those types of things. We like those story, emotional type games. We also like twin stick shooters, kind of like the arcadey action games too. Mm-hmm. So whenever I hear him talk about one and something like that, I always kind of take note. Like, yeah, I'll play that.
Donnie has dragged me into a bunch of indie games that I might have passed on right by, just by talking about them on the podcast and on Twitter. So I want to play that Golf Wasteland game because of you.
It's gonna be dope.
So see, that's what's up. That I feel like I'm impressionable when I want to have a conversation about something, right? So if somebody's playing something that they really like, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to be able to be involved. Like, you really like this, I want to. So I'll play, especially smaller games. And now I'm just like, why don't I just play Destiny again? Because maybe I can play with Dev and be cool. Because crossplay is enabled now, right?
Crossplay, baby.
We got crossplay. Let's go. All right, see? I want to be cool. I want to be Dev's friend. So
I will say this. I have listened to Donnie talk about certain games that he may not like, and that saved me a couple of bucks from buying the game.
That helps too.
On a regular basis. Like, I'm like, okay, Donnie doesn't like this game. Maybe I shouldn't play it, because Donnie does a good job of describing why he doesn't like the game, what's wrong with the game, why is it broken or why it's not broken or why it's just not for him. So when I hear what he says about it, I usually like, all right, I won't touch that game.
That's interesting. Sometimes I swing the other way, and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I'll feel the same way about it. You know what I mean? Because we do.
I kind of feel the same.
I have different opinions from Donnie a lot of times. So sometimes if he really dislikes something, I'm like, I kind of feel like I at least want to look at this now and see if we land, which side I land on. Like, I always think that's interesting. 12 minutes is one of those games where I'm just like, I might have skipped by this. I really do need to play it now because I want to know where I fit on the spectrum. What about you, Dev?
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I will piggyback on Delvin and say that Donnie does a really good job of describing games and gameplay and what is good or what isn't good about a game and how it plays. Like, he loves No More Heroes 3. Like, he's enjoying his time, but he took the time out to also explain the things that are bad about it or that just don't quite work. And you don't get a lot of that. You get just a lot of people's just opinion instead of like, these are the mechanics and this is what doesn't really work with that game. So I will give Donnie kudos for that and that only. Because everything else he likes about games, I'm like, fuck that, no, I'm not playing the game.
I do appreciate people who can eloquently describe pluses and minuses of a product from a largely, even from a biased point of view. Like, you love No More Heroes. I am biased, but here are my. I think that's valuable. Yeah. Like in hard.
Oh yeah, it's not good. I played it for about an hour. When I played it for about an hour when it first came out, I was like, oh my god, it's so good. And then I played it for about 4 more hours. I was like, it's not good. It's not a good game.
But you can. Like, you can say, I still love the series. I still like some of the things.
I like lots of terrible games.
I love terrible games sometimes.
Truth. I do too. That is the truth.
We all like bad games sometimes. But it's the people who are like, I love this game, and it's really bad, and they just go all in on
Likewise, I hate amazing games. She goes both ways.
You do hate amazing games. It's true.
I agree with that as well.
It's true.
You guys just play everything. Like, that's part of the thing. Like, you guys legit.
I try.
Especially you, Delvin. Oh, my God. You will just play any old thing.
Yeah,
that's the fun with video games, because you never know that hidden gem you'll find.
That's the thing. Like, sometimes, like, I'll say, oh, I don't like strategy RPGs, but then I'll play one and I'll be like, well, shit, this one's really good. So I don't rule anything out until I don't like it. And then I write the game off, not the genre, you know?
Sure.
And it's more fun that way. We got 3 more questions.
I wrote the rogue stuff off. I'm done.
You're done?
Do you see Jeff's
I've written
tweet?
off tactics games.
I'm not great at tactics games. I'm bad at them.
Jeff tweeted, he's like, I respect all gamers except those that don't like the rogues. And then I was the first response. I was like, that's me. Like, you 100% just described me.
Damn.
It's just me.
All right. Oh, my God.
I don't think there's one that I liked.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think there's one rogue game that I liked.
All right, we got 3 more questions. Kyle the Pug. This is a game show I am not familiar with, so maybe somebody can inform me.
I do.
Okay, good.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
This isn't a video game question, but between the 4 of you, who is most likely to win on the TV show Holy Moly, and who gets dissed by Rob Riggle the most?
I mean, come on. I know what the show is, so I feel like I already have a significant
Well, you have a leg
advantage.
up. I don't know what
But
I've never heard of the show.
It's a golf show, so I'm definitely winning, and I'm probably also going to get dissed most.
Yeah, both. You're going to get both.
I'm probably getting both these categories. All right, so Holy Moly is a competitive putt-putt / wipeout TV show starring Steph Curry.
Okay.
Steph Curry.
Basketball player?
The basketball?
Yeah. So if you didn't know, Steph Curry is one hell of a golfer. He's very good.
He plays a lot of golf.
He's like
Wait, doesn't
he's
he
like
bowl
sub
too?
scratch player. Like, he could
I
probably
think he
play
does
on like a junior amateur tour.
Okay, I'm terrified now. I didn't know.
But Holy Moly is like these really, really elaborate putt-putt courses. That you got to like walk across balance beams while like shit swings in and out or knock you in the pool and things like that. And they pit these people off against each other, and they have like these wacky charisma characters, right? And then at the end, like the entire time, Rob Riggle's basically the color commentator. He wears his gold jacket, and it's like an ESPN the Ochos type situation where he basically just makes fun of everybody. But at the end, if you win, you have to go up against the robot. There's like a robot swing machine, and they put a tablet with Rob Riggle's face on the robot, so he can like taunt you as the robot swings. Or you can pick Steph Curry to hit your shot, or Steph. I keep saying Steph Curry to hit your shot, And you can basically go Steph or the robot, and then that plays into the game as well. But it's putt-putt. And
you're going to win then. I'm bad.
Yeah, I'm not the best putt-putt player, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm decent, but putt-putt's like a whole different game than golf. But of the four of us here,
yeah,
I like my chances.
You probably will get insulted by Rob Riggle.
And I probably will get made fun of most by Rob Riggle.
Yeah, you probably win both.
Absolutely.
I'm probably going to give him more to work with.
Oh, my Lord.
I agree.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. Can
Like,
I push Donnie into the water, though? That's the real question.
Wait, can we do that?
No, that would get you dismissed. I mean, you could, but I would advance.
Then great. You can go forth.
Worth it.
Wet pants.
They do have this
That's
really
worth it.
fun, like, they have like this mountain that they put like soap and water on that people have to climb, and then they slip and fall and just land on their face and stuff like that.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, wait.
I'm sorry.
that's-
Wipeout is amazing. I want to do that so bad.
Yes.
I would be an
Same.
embarrassment.
I would break every bone in my,
Yes,
my
big
body
same.
at this age,
Big
but
same.
I really want to do it.
That looks like a lot of fun.
I'll do Family Feud.
Family
Family
Feud. I was
Feud.
just watching tonight.
You're playing the
love
safe.
Family
See,
That is the
you're too
oldest
safe.
shit. You just
Family Feud is awesome.
You're too safe,
Young
Delvin.
man.
That's a great game. Just sit there. Survey says
Word.
nuts.
wow.
Well, that's the name of the episode now.
Wow.
Yeah. Steve Harvey, baby.
It says nuts.
Can't get better than that. Steve Harvey.
Steve
Family
Harvey's
Feud is-
actually pretty funny on that show. All right. Jeez. All right. We're going to hit the Elusive Man or Los's serious question. If you can pick only one game out of all the games that are coming out between now and spring, which would you be happy with being your only game?
That's a good question.
Donnie, what's your answer? Now in spring. Now in March. Let's say now in
We'll
March.
say,
End
yeah,
of
we're
March.
going away in March, right?
End of March. All right, I'm gonna answer. It's Forza Horizon 5 for me. I'm really excited about that video game. I've said this multiple weeks in a row on Empire, so I feel like everybody's gonna know that's my answer. But that's the
I'm
one.
just
I'm
waiting for Donnie to just agree with you because
He's
I'm
thinking
pretty
about
sure
agreeing
that's
with
where
me
he's
right
going.
now. He's
It's
thinking
Forza.
about it. Yeah, it's Forza. All right, gentlemen, what else you got?
It's like
Dev,
I don't
what
want
about
it to
you?
be, but it is.
It is.
Metroid Dread.
That's a good answer. I'm excited to play that and talk to you about it. Dev,
Far Cry 6.
Nice.
It's also a good S answer. See, there are good video games coming out.
And they say there's a drought this fall. What are they talking about?
Dude, Brian
Nonsense.
Altano said the fall was light last week.
He's smoking
It's
crack.
what?
Beyond, right? It literally took me like I feel like I choked on my seltzer water. I was like, what? He's like, it's like a lighter fall. It's lighter than normal. I was like, what?
I'm offended
not
by
even
that
close.
opinion. I'm offended.
My
Like,
wallet's hurting so
Right.
much between now. Like my kid's Christmas is lighter than normal because I have to buy so many games between now and January.
Sorry, kids.
The Game Pass.
Yeah.
Buy everybody
That's
Game Pass.
with
That's-
Game Pass
my God.
and Game Pass. There's so many games. I'm getting like a new game like every 2 or 3 weeks from here on out.
That's a good fall, right
Starting
there.
with No More
Yeah.
Heroes, like
That's a
all
good
literally.
call.
So
all
then
the
is
way
it
through
really
the
a
fall.
light Christmas?
No,
If you
it's
just
not.
don't let them play until Christmas?
Yeah.
No. I meant like their Christmas presents, like the amount of Christmas that I can afford for them.
Yes.
It's lighter than normal.
They're gonna have
Because
to suffer.
Add all the games on top of it. Like
Yeah.
you got part of your Christmas already.
Dad
why,
has a
why Is this
habit.
unwrapped? Why? Who opened my Christmas present? I don't know. Must have been the guy at the store. Last copy at GameStop. Santa got it. Don't know what to tell you. We got one more question from SOG True Believer. Wait, Delvin, did you answer that question? You didn't. What game are you most looking forward to?
Far Cry 6.
Except Far
Oh,
Cry.
you did
Yeah.
say Far Cry 6. My brain is liquid. All right, SOG True Believer. What was your first gaming experience? What was your most notable gaming experience? And what achievement or whatever are you most proud of? You can pick one part or all parts to answer. Dev, what about you? Hit me. What you got?
My first gaming experience was playing Duck Hunt at a sleepover because I was too intimidated to play Mario. So I was like, I can shoot, but this this controller thing was like, I don't know about that. That's a little too much for me at 5.
I see where your hatred of Mario began. Is that the
Yeah,
sleepover
absolutely.
where you were afraid
Absolutely. It's just like, I'm not feeling that with this gun.
Yeah, no, this
I
gun,
want to shoot this duck. And probably my most notable and like accomplishment I'm most proud of is probably the Clean Hands trophy in Dishonored. Going through that game and not killing anybody. It's awesome.
That's a good one, man. That's jeez. Yeah, I do not have the patience. Big ups to you. I do not. I was like, oops, I got seen. Time to murder everybody. Delvin, what about you?
My first gaming moment, I'm going to sound really old because I am.
You are old.
Yes. The first game I remember playing, I was 5 years old, and it was the Smurfs for ColecoVision.
Dude. I didn't even know they made a Smurfs game for ColecoVision.
Yes. My granddad owned a ColecoVision in his house, and we used to go there during the summertime. He lived in Orlando. We used to go visit him. And he would sit me in this room with the ColecoVision, and I would play the Smurfs, which was this bad Mario ripoff game. And I loved it. And then when I got home, they bought me an Atari 2600, which looks nothing like a ColecoVision.
I was going to say, that ain't the same.
Not at all. Not even close.
Sorry, did you get a copy of E.T.? I'm so sorry.
Yes, I did. I did get a copy
I
of
own
E.T.
a copy of E.T. as well.
And I actually beat E.T.
I'm sorry.
Fun fact, you can kill Elliot in that game.
Oh, my Lord. That game was so bad. That was criminally bad. Do you have a notable experience or like an achievement you're proud of? Something in there?
No.
Okay, that's fair. It's fair.
I think
Terminator. That's good enough.
I think I want to say, I guess, memorable in terms of like notable, I guess, probably playing all the Mass Effect series. I remember playing each one of those and loving that to an extreme degree. And I probably played the Mass Effect 2 at least 6 times. And beat it.
It's such a good game. It's such a good game. Oh, it's so
it really
good.
is.
Donnie, what you got for this question?
My first game experience, I think, was preschool. So I had to be 4, 5 maybe. The daycare that I went to had an NES, and that's where I found Tecmo Super Bowl and Donkey Kong.
Ooh.
The original Donkey Kong. I used to be way, 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 way into that arcade game, man. I used to love the original Donkey Kong. So that was my first game experience. It would have been some time before I had my own, but I remember like that's when I got hooked on games. I think that's like my earliest memory. I remember my my mom dropping me off. I remember playing. They set me down. I was like one of the first kids there, and they're like, "Yeah, you can play." And I think I played until like lunch. So we're going from like 7 in the morning to
Oh my god,
noon. I just didn't stop playing. I was like,
That's
I'm good.
Dream right there.
It's
Right,
like
yeah.
I'm good. Like y'all do your circle thing, and like I'm
just
good.
do your circle time. I'm gonna
Like
be
leave
here.
me. I'm gonna be over here. And then I definitely remember it becoming a thing where like every time I went back, that's all I wanted to do. And then like they used to tell. I remember like them being like, hey, like dude, he's got to stop.
You gotta actually learn something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. Oh wow.
Achievement or accomplishment? I got nothing. I don't.
You don't have anything? All right. So
You're still playing No More Heroes 3. That's
still
your
playing No More
accomplishment
Heroes
right there.
3. That's an achievement.
There is. I do feel somewhat accomplished. I would never go as far. I met real No More Heroes fans at MomoCon. I would never go so far to call myself an expert, but I in reading some reviews and seeing like some Twitter impressions, just keeping up with No More Heroes as much as I have, I do feel somewhat of an accomplishment from, because some reviewers, man, one of them was just like the story's just nonsensical. It's like that's not even close. I'd feel really bad if I said something like that about a review in like a publication. It's like, any No More Heroes fan knows that's not the case. Like there's quite a story actually going on here. There's lots of stories. People have come back from the dead and shit. Like there's all kinds of story going on here.
You've been invested for a long time, though.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, like I'm really into it. So I like that. I like that people know that about me. I like that people come and they'll ask me questions. I'm happy to do it. I even said it this week. Somebody was like, the hype is cool. I want to see No More Heroes 3. Like, should I jump in? I was like, well, you're not going to understand these things, but that's why I'm here. Like just shoot me a question. I'll help. And when No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again came out, I love that game.
I like it too.
100% because of story. And like IGN's review, I'm not sure I don't think any of you read any reviews. Right?
I did. Of Travis Strikes Again, yes.
No, No More Heroes 3?
No, I did not read that one.
No. All right, so No More Heroes 3 is basically a direct sequel to Travis Strikes Again. Travis Strikes Again was a prequel for this. And the IGN review has this blurb. I didn't read the whole review, but it's got this blurb going around, like on Reddit and stuff in the No More Heroes circles, where basically the person was like, the gameplay and the characters that sucked in Travis Strikes Again comes back, and therefore No More Heroes 3 isn't very good.
Wow.
And I was just like,
oh, honey, no.
That's a bad take. That's a real bad take to have. Like, I imagine a lot of Suda fans didn't. And look, I haven't read the review, so I'm not casting judgment. It might be a great review. You know, like, it's all opinion. Mm-hmm. But just reading that blurb and how it comes off like somebody who didn't play it, didn't understand it, or worse, what I think worse when you talk about reviews, somebody doesn't like it.
Sure.
You know, like if you you can give anybody a game they don't like. You know, like everybody's got games they don't like. It's like maybe you're not the best person to review it. Yeah. You know, because that's a hot take to have.
Very hot take, man. All right, so I think that being that invested in something is an accomplishment. Like I want some golf
No More Heroes is my destiny. People come to me for the same reasons they come to you for No More Heroes.
Yep. Yeah. Much like you guys, like it was an NES experience for my first. I think I was 4. My dad was always like a tech guy, 4 or 5. My dad was always a guy who wanted to play with new technology, and like video games like in-house was like a big thing. And so he bought an NES, and I remember beating him at Duck Hunt and playing a lot of Tetris. Like a lot of Tetris. Like my love of Tetris started like then, and I got it on the Game Boy.
Oh my god!
And I would be holding it out the window to hit the street lights because you couldn't see on that original Game Boy at all. In the dark, going back from my grandmother's house.
I filmed Tetris on Game Boy.
Tetris on Game Boy, I played a lot of.
I didn't even know it was on NES, to be honest.
It was on NES. It was.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so pretty on NES.
Yeah, I liked it on NES.
The colors. Oh yeah.
Most notable experience when I was 10. There was a mall. There was 2 malls. You always had 2 malls in New Jersey. You had the Close Mall and the Good Mall. And like once a month we would go to the Good Mall. This is a Jersey ass thing to say. And the Good Mall had an arcade right off the food court. There was a coin-op arcade. So my mom would go get a book from the bookstore. She would sit in the food court and she would send me to the arcade with 4 quarters. Once I was out at my quarters, I came out. Street Fighter 2 came out around that time.
Yes.
And I had to stand on a milk crate because I was short. And I had to stand up on a milk crate, and it was the put in the quarter, like you would put up your quarters and the next person would play. And my mom had to make me leave. I still had 2 quarters left. I was beating 14, 15-year-old boys at Street Fighter, and like there's a bunch of people standing behind us, like this 10-year-old girl's beating all y'all. And that's embarrassing. Like I'm standing on this milk cart playing Street Fighter 2. So that was probably that was one of those moments that I will never forget. Like I was very
That's
excited.
fucking awesome.
It was such a good moment, and I like missed that arcade, and I'm so sad it's not in that mall anymore because I was like, I stood on a milk cart and beat all.
It's crazy. I was here thinking the last time I played Smash, like Rebecca worked me. I didn't think it was embarrassing at all.
In the mid '90s,
the arcade scene in the
arcades in the '90s.
Oh, I mean, game is game.
It was all boys, and
Doc.
It was all 15-year-old boys.
Nah.
Yeah, I didn't do the arcade.
There was something.
Arcades were around when I was little, but I didn't do arcades. I didn't have
this was the only one that we had, and it was the only time there were arcade machines in bowling alleys too.
Yeah,
we were always in the bowling alley. That's where I
did that a lot.
Playing Street Fighter. But then I went to this arcade and showed up all these like teenage grown boys. I felt real good. That felt real good.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
So weird that's where like my love of Golden Tee came.
From
she's
the
over here working
alleys.
little kids at Street Fighter. I'm over by the Golden Tee machine.
She's working the big kids.
I was working the big kids. I was a little kid. I was a little skinny ass girl too. I think we hit every question, man. And so like a big thank you to everybody, Twitter, Discord, who sent all these questions in, made our first episode. You know, put us right at home.
It all seems to have went well. People showed up in the chat, like the patrons got their live link, like this. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! It worked.
Hey, we did it, guys!
We did it!
Celebration!
We did it!
If you want to watch the show live when we stream it, there's a Patreon tier that you can do that at if you're into
DLC and up.
DLC
DLC patrons.
So if you want to do that going forward, Wednesdays will be the day for the live stream, and then it will be out on the feeds a couple days following that. Sundays, Donnie, is that what we're going to do here?
Yeah.
Sundays-ish?
So.
Okay.
I don't know. I honestly hadn't really thought about it.
Nah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be up whenever I finish editing it.
There you go.
It'll go up over the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, something like that.
I just show up and herd the cats. Before we get out of here, let me say a big thank you to all of our Patreon producers at Patreon supporters at every level, everybody in the Discord, on Twitter, Let me give a shout out to our on-air producers from Patreon. Here we go. Michael Masick, Edwin Calo, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Ben Moxham, Nick Faulhaber, Paul Callicoat, Kyle Haiman, Devin Tyus, Josh Borbone, RJ Kern, HorseGirl69,
nice.
Zach Adams, Joe Wilson, and AJ Pentecost. Thanks, folks, for your support. Thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us in the Discord and on Twitter and send questions. This was good times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Absolutely.
Well, so I guess I think we're done here. Are we done here?
Yeah.
Gentlemen. You're still gentlemen for this week. We'll see how it goes next week. Gentlemen, thank you. And thank you to everybody who's checking out the show. And until next week, play some video games.